All right, we're recording.
Does it make a squeaky noise?
Welcome to session 19 of the seasonal arc. The title of this session is Restraint, and today I have with me so many people.
Yay! I'm Kevin. I play Domino, the human fighter monk.
Oh shit, we're doing this.
Yep.
I'm David. I play Karnan, the male variant human fighter, level 11.
Very correct.
I'm Nima Octan.
Nema.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nema.
And my name is Eric, and whatever.
He's a human fighter because that's what we all are.
No, he's a human ranger.
Ranger
Get out.
Hunter.
Ranger buddy.
Chase, and I play human fighter Canathar.
What is a Canathar?
Human fighter Canathar.
I'm Andrew and I play Uriel, the human fighter.
I'm Jacob and I'm playing Turok, the Goliath fighter.
And I'm Kyle. I'm playing Cassius, the Rogue Ranger.
Yes, it's very exciting. Rogue Ranger Halfling. All right, so last time you guys were going after the Visage of Ash in some square way over in BFE of the desert over here. You entered the tomb, you found that it was time locked, it opened at midnight, you guys went in, there was magma lightning, there were murals on the wall of creatures. You played around with a magma lightning trap puzzle thing. You got really fixated on northeast, south, and west, and it had nothing to do with that, so you spent a good 30 minutes a game just playing with buttons and levers and stuff, powering up the iron golem in the facility. You saw some cool shit, did some stuff, went to some other areas.
Looted that body.
What?
Looted that body.
Yeah, you looted the body. Let me see if I can find that info.
A bunch of flat coins, a flat set of armor.
Flat set of armor.
He was smushed.
So okay, we're way back here. So many things. So the first body had some semi-magical boots that made 3-foot long skis. It also had a breastplate or something.
Are we trying to make Inspector Gadget?
Yeah.
I think Clint and I are the only ones old enough to remember Inspector
Oh.
Gadget.
Oh.
you're
Yeah. Oh no.
Totally.
We all know
cartoon,
Inspector
guys, not the live action. But
Oh no, we know the cartoon.
I didn't have cable until I was in high
it was
school.
a Mega Scorpion
so I had all the
breastplate.
public stuff.
Mega Scorpion
a
breastplate.
decade
Yes,
behind everybody.
AC 15, max Dex 2, resistance to acid damage.
Does anybody want that?
Does anybody use a breastplate?
I'm not going to use it.
It's a Mega Scorpion breastplate with an AC of 15. It's a medium armor. Max Dex is bonus to AC and whatnot is 2. It also confers resistance to acid damage.
What? I think you should use it then. But
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe
it would
maybe
be
I do want it.
way worse than Blackstone armor, right?
Oh yeah.
Now let's smash it.
Okay, good plan.
Or we could sell it. I don't know.
Or we could take it, and if we need acid resistance, we
Yes.
can put it
Maybe
on.
you just put it
Like
in,
if we have to
in
kill
the
him.
wagons.
His
Um,
dragons.
So you eventually found your way to an iron golem that was being powered up by the magma lightning in the facility. Uriel got a ridiculous series of critical hits that annihilated it. So that was pretty
Which was
neat.
good.
You got to the final chamber. There was a tomb there with some writing on it. The coffin in that room basically contained Hashaka Tellerdell, who had betrayed someone named Okasa. There's a big mural on the back wall of what I guess you all kind of, at least Domino thinks is the goddess of eternal summer. Also,
Beautiful.
yes,
The
I did say-
Horned Queen.
the Horned Queen. Yes.
Which I totally think her name is Okasa. I'm kinda convinced.
There's also the
Really
Visage of
Horned
Ash, which Domino's spear really wanted to absorb, but Uriel was like, "Nah, I'm gonna put it on," and he put it on, and Cassius stabbed him a couple times in his smoky, cool-looking form with the teeth of the teeth,
For science.
and then you absorbed it, and it did some stuff. You remember everything that it does. It coats parts of your body.
Yep.
Okay. Have it all.
And that's only when I turn on the spear, right?
Only when you turn it on. And it's not something you control. If you turn on the spear, that's all on.
you guys, I gotta complete the set. Like, but we're doing this other artifact first. I'm gonna prove to you guys it's still me. It's still me.
That sounds like somebody would say that if they weren't still them. I don't know.
Still me, guys.
Well, I feel like everybody's questioning it.
I'm in total control.
I'm not questioning it. I support you.
Roll a kill shot.
Um,
Yay, Carden!
In one of the hallways, you found a corpse kind of smashed onto a metal plate in the wall that you didn't really investigate. Did you want to investigate it?
Yeah.
Okay. You tug it away. It's not as gross as it might normally be. Heat and time have withered it, so it's all leather and bits of bone
Favorite things to do.
and stuff. Basically, after you pull it off, you see the imprint, the overlapping imprint of several large fist marks compressing in the metal. Something at least as big as Manos killed the human by punching him into a wall.
And this would have helped us to see what was ahead had we done this before we fought the golem.
But you didn't.
But we didn't.
So here we are. You guys were done there. You just had to kill like 10 hours until the time lock opened up at...
So we took a rest.
Yeah, you took a long rest. You all leveled up. It's now, noon the next day. Damn, I forgot to do that. Okay. So, it's the 27th of 9th month, 4033 DOS, a little after noon. If you remember, the time lock door takes an hour to open and an hour to close.
Right.
12 hours ago, you entered the tomb of Hashaka Teledel, found and absorbed the Visage of Ash. While you guys were in there, you took a long rest. Herbert spent some time making sketches of all the metal panels and all the artwork and stuff that was depicted in there. He also jotted down like sketchings of the number runes you found on some of the chambers. Is the spear still on when you guys exit the tomb?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, you turn around. Okay.
Yeah, after I think all the danger's over, I turn around.
So, you guys exit the tomb, the door opens, all your studs are back to working, she feels full powered and stuff. Your spear regrows ice and all that kind of stuff. Everything's back to working normally, basically. So, it's about 1 in the afternoon. Do you guys want to hang out and rest a bit and avoid the hot part of the day, or do you want to just set out now?
We're desert dwelling people. I think we can set out now.
Okay.
I agree.
Sure.
Let's get the hell out of here. This place kind of sucked.
Before you guys start out, you notice that the area, as far as Nema and Jemba and everyone that's been outside of the tomb has been able to tell, the area is still devoid of dragons. Dragons are hunting the group because they have the blood of everlasting spring in them. So they're just harassing.
Just to let you guys know, there's no dragons around.
Yeah, thank you.
If you can tell by the lack of
So, Herbert...
Those don't count.
It's also the food supply.
What's that?
It's
It's also a renewable food supply.
Nice.
What is the dragons?
Yeah.
Well,
Their
they lay
corpses.
eggs?
No,
Yeah,
their
you just-
corpses
they're not
die
big
off
dragons.
behind us, and
Just kill them. Or butcher them. Eat them. Herbert, being a responsible patron, takes the opportunity to pay you all. It's been over 100 days since he paid you last, so you each get 505 gold. He says, we have discovered artifacts, but sadly Domhnall's spear has absorbed them, and he looks at Domhnall. The cultural impact of the destruction of these artifacts cannot be measured, sadly. But if the blades of Bone and Flame are integral to defeating the Vacusu, I understand the practical needs of the situation.
Oh, yeah.
Domhnall's spear is a superior weapon to the blades, I believe. As we've learned, its power is infinite, whereas theirs was limited. I do not feel comfortable rewarding the group for 2,000 gold for the Blade of Bone and Flame and the Visage of Ash, but I will award each of you a bonus of 200 gold on top of the 505, so you each get 705 gold.
705 gold.
Just put it in.
Herbert says, if you don't want to,
So I still owe...
1050. Unless you want to.
I have in my notes that I owe Herbert 959. I gave him everything I had.
Okay, so.
So it's 959 minus
Do you want me to-
750.
do you
I
need
owe
some
Herbert
gold?
209 gold.
Do you want
209
209 gold?
Okay.
Nope,
See-
we're good. We're good. I'll take it up with our paint.
Being in
Alright.
debt is how we know you have a
4,485 gold.
problem, Kevin.
See, they all like studs.
You're
You can buy magic
obsessive.
studs.
You're spending
I'm
money you
not
don't
me, Dave.
have.
How much gold do you have?
4,300.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't like who he's become.
So, do these studs? Do they put out a calendar once a year?
No.
Maybe like
Yes.
where they're like fighting fires.
yeah, they were firemen, maybe sometimes police.
Awesome. So I could see your addiction.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm just not into it, you know.
It is what it is.
It's not my thing.
That's the only way Nima makes any money.
Well, you do have the skin.
So,
for it.
Yeah.
before we get moving,
It also controls time.
Herbert breaks out his tomes of knowledge,
It's an
and he has his
algorithm.
cane and reach to like poke at Smoog and Hargar when they come close, and he says, "As we exited the tomb, an issue was raised. Domhnall feels, and I somewhat agree with him, that our focus should be upon finding more artifacts of the Horned Queen, the goddess of eternal summer. Others in the group have expressed a concern that the concentration of power in the spear is perhaps affecting Domhnall's judgment. The Guardian, after fighting Eisman for the information, was able to tell us that another blade of bone and flame may be discovered in or around Millen, but all he could tell us was Millen and Goliath were involved. Millen is not known for its love of history or culture. I do not discount the accuracy of the Guardian. I just cannot find documentation to support his words. If we're intent on pausing from pursuing the blades of bone and flame to give Domhnall a chance to experience moderation, I have 2 leads on other objects of power that may or may not whatever. I have leads on 2 other. I have no idea what I was writing here.
It's probably a Led Zeppelin reference.
Probably 2 other objects of. Actually, it's a Dune reference.
Spice must flow.
No, I have leads on 2 other objects of power that may or may not be as useful as blades of bone and flame: the still suit and the boots and belt of thunder. I've only done basic research on these objects, so I know little of them. Rumors of the still suit
That's
speak
an
of
Avengers reference, Thor.
what?
Boots and belts with thunder. It's definitely Thor.
I could maybe. I could see that
It's probably
interpretation.
in a land of ice and snow.
Rumors of the still suit speak of increasing resilience during desert travel, reduced need for food and water, resistance to heat, that sort of thing. The boots and belt are supposed to confer great strength. One legend speaks of great speed, but the language is very early version of the common language spoken today, so speed could also be interpreted as endurance. Both objects supposedly lie with flesh eaters, which presents some issues, as I'm sure you can imagine. The legends I can find detailing the still suit imply it lies along the corroded coast, which is way over here. You guys are currently about in this area.
Of course.
Why did they call it the corroded coast?
Acid, water, corroding the coast.
So only one of us has protection against acid. So that's
No one has any protection from acid.
Someone has an
I
acid.
have the breastplate and I have the armor, but it's not
Would
enough.
Nemo like to wear it?
Would you like to wear it?
No.
Okay.
Oh, okay, well,
I like
Okay.
to
take
wrist
acid damage.
The boots and belt of thunder supposedly lie among the flesh eaters living in the volcanic mountainous region around the Font of Shadows. I believe in square Q20, which is about here.
What kind of flesh do they eat? Night fowls?
Human.
Oh, that's
Fucking
that's disappointing.
I'm fine then.
I thought it was night fowls.
Guys, I'll just talk to him.
Well, I'm a variant human, so I'm okay.
Yeah.
They don't eat human flesh. I'm a Goliath.
I'm
I
all
got it.
stringy and stuff. You don't
Kandara has a concerned, kind of apologetic look on her face as she looks at Domhnall and says, I agree with Herbert and Domhnall that we should continue seeking the blades of bone and flame, but I think that so much power gained so quickly could be overwhelming. I think we should pause and seek another artifact that we think would be useful, or hold off on giving more blades to the spear,
Nima says,
at least for a time.
I feel that we should feed his addiction.
You're not being helpful, Nima.
Domhnall told me that it's not affecting him.
Do I get paid?
You, by the way, your brother was married to Kandara, who I'm speaking as right now. So she's your sister-in-law.
Or my sister.
Wait, what? Was married? Is married?
That's the guy that died.
Dead now
Oh, right.
Forever ago.
because he
But
died.
she's legal. It's not against the law anymore.
Yeah.
Well, that depends.
I'm
Did
trying
you
to just
file for
understand
divorce
this
yet?
family loop here. But
Yeah.
Nema
She-
and Jemba
Our cousins,
of Kandara.
Kandara's husband. They're related to Kandara's husband.
Because Kandara's city folk.
Kandara's
You just
city
said
folk married into them.
Nema was brothers.
I
with
misspoke.
Kandara's husband.
He's a cousin-in-law.
So
I
what
misspoke.
is-
I forgot that he's cousin, not brother.
Okay,
What does
that's
that actually
fine.
make
I
us? Is it absolutely nothing?
Not biologically related.
So it's legal.
Cousins, brothers.
Good luck with
brothers,
that.
Next door neighbors.
Exactly.
But he told me that the spear's not affecting him at all. So
Right.
I mean, I believe him.
I think we're losing track of what's important here. What do you have planned, Clint? We should do the opposite.
All right, to the corroded coast it is. No, I based on what we were discussing in the
Chat. Yep.
the chat, we were going to go for the Q20. I just kind of wanted to frame
Dom
the
appreciates
story a
his-
little.
or
The lower
appreciates
half
his-
of Thunder.
Appreciates
The lower half. Of
Karnan's willingness to find another Blade of Bone and Flame, but Dom wants to prove to everyone else that no, we're
Can
good.
we
with
find a bow?
Let's find
of
something
Blade
for
and
someone
Flame?
else.
A what?
A bow of Blade and Flame.
Ooh.
Yeah, sure.
There probably is a bow.
Well, I'm hoping when I collect all the Pokemon bones.
How
All
about
of the artifacts I have right.
How about some sinew of Blade and Foam? of
Blade and
Flame?
Flame?
Flame and
Hey, I have
Bone.
some more gin and tonic.
Trust me, that has nothing to do with it. I'm going to stumble over it anyway.
Makes speaking good.
All right, so you guys talk and figured out, and everyone agrees that you're going to go to square Q20. You know, that
You
space.
sunk my battleship.
I was waiting for that.
So you guys start traveling,
Gin-
and
gin-
you know it's
command.
travel as normal. Eventually, you cover about 20 miles, and it's
Sorry,
20
guys, really quick. I didn't realize that Bud Lights came in Zima bottles. No. Anybody?
Bud Light Platinum.
Oh, is that what that is? All right.
So about a day passes. It's about time for you all to take your rest. You make a little camp, you set up watches and that sort of thing, and you all go to sleep.
Make soup.
Unless y'all just want to stay up.
Bean soup.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm too excited.
We set watches. I'm assuming.
We
So-
watches?
Yeah. Herbert's got a pocket watch.
We're synchronizing them.
He's fancy.
Synchronize. No.
No.
So you guys lay down to rest, and some of you hold watch, some of you nap, whatever. When Domino's turn to nap comes around, his sleep is rough. He doesn't hang between being awake and being asleep, but there's a lot of tossing and turning, and you can tell he's not getting a lot of. He's not having a lot of fun sleeping.
No REM sleep.
No REM sleep. Anyone watching can see that he's sweating profusely, and you're in the desert, but like he's kind of clammy to the touch if you were to touch him, and he's just like drenched in sweat. His bedroll is just soaked at this point.
Just to let you know, Nima is staring at you. while we're just listening.
And anyone watching closely would see that the clothing along his right shoulder and arm starts blackening and smoking in a trail that moves slowly down his right arm.
What's happened to you, bro?
And then his hand, he's got hand wraps around his hands, and you can see that trail of smoking and like blackening clothing, and then like all of a sudden like his hand wraps are briefly on fire and like just fall apart to ash. And you can see like the hand start to redden and blister. And while this is happening, you're dreaming. And it feels like this takes hours and hours, but it's like it's like seconds in real time. You are dreaming of flames. You see flames.
Seems fitting.
It's like your eyes are closed, but all you see is flames. And you feel your vision is completely occupied by this red and orange holocaust of swirling flames. You feel a warm hand moving down your right arm until it wraps itself around your right hand and grips it tightly. Not like a vice like you couldn't break, but more like someone has grabbed your hand and is pulling you along to show you something, to lead you somewhere. Your dreaming vision shifts, and you see a humanoid cloud of black smoke. Like on this background of flames is this humanoid figure of black smoke, similar to what you saw on the murals, the metal plates in the Tomb of Hashaka Tellardal. And this smoke figure is on the left. On the right appears the Horned Queen, as she appears on some of the murals on that one mural in the tomb.
So the smoke figure is not the Horned Queen.
No.
Figures.
No.
Okay.
The smoke figure looks very much like the Bakusu.
Okay.
If it were made of smoke.
Okay.
Instead of shadow.
The Horned Queen has a metal kilt and a khopesh with a blade like the sun. She's got the horns. She's all made of flames of varying shades. It's more of a suggestion than a direct representation, you know?
Okay.
But you can definitely tell, like, this is her. She and this humanoid cloud of smoke battle, and it goes on for hours with her chopping and flinging lightning bolts and blasts of flame at it, and it just seeming to... It gets, like, a little lighter, like, it stops being quite so black and maybe gets a little gray. But eventually her magma surface of the sun sword shatters apart and turns to ash and clouds of burning embers. And the black smoke figure kind of lunges towards her, and she starts to dim in intensity. All the flames and colors making up her form dim in intensity as this black smoke figure turns like a gray, ashy color. And then you hear, as she begins to flee and run away, you hear her say in your mind, cowardice, weakness, fear. And then the image shifts. We're not done yet. There's always more. I never stop talking. The image shifts, and you see her dim, like this. She's still dimmed. She's running, and she comes upon what you identify as that other horned creature from the mural, the metal plates in the tomb, the one with the bull's horns and then the horns that curve around like tusks. And he's with 6 other humanoids with long black claws. And this is still all made out of flames and colors and like, so black is smoke and that sort of thing. Like, it's the suggestion. It's not a direct, like, this is what they...
Here's a picture of everything.
Here's a picture of everything. The 7 figures, this other horned being and these 6 other clawed beings, they attack her savagely and she fights them. She's got her own claws. She's throwing balls of flame, and this other horned creature is knocking them away and absorbing them. And it's just this running battle where the 8 of them are just like kicking the shit out of each other. She quickly kills 4 of the 6 clawed humanoids, but eventually she fails. And they rip her limb from limb, and the other horned being pauses to spit on her as she lies torn apart on the ground.
Oh, like the one that was helping her fight?
No, none of them were helping her fight. They were all attacking her.
I misinterpreted that the guy with the other horns.
No, he was leading the other 6 attacking her.
I'm sorry. All right.
So he spits on her, and her body lays on the ground and begins smoking and blowing away as ash, and you can hear her hiss betrayal, and you feel rage and sorrow from her. And as you watch, a humanoid of white light comes upon her. Its right hand is mangled, kind of cut in half, like here. So it just has the index finger, the middle finger, and the thumb. White radiance bursts from its hand, and he fashions what is left of her skull into something resembling the visage of ash. You can see that he makes her left femur into a spear of black bone and frozen flame. He somehow, like, you don't know how he's doing it. He just has this white radiance in his hand, and he's just moving his hands over her bone, these representations of her bones and her body. The bones of her right forearm are forged into this axe-like weapon that you saw in Summer's End. And then he fashions ribs into a pair of like little, like, I don't know, daggers, I guess, like curved daggers of black bone and white flame.
We don't have those yet.
And finally, he fashions what is left of her spine into this long whip of like blue lightning and blackened bone vertebrae. In your head, she whispers "hope" with a question mark, like it's a very obvious, like, hope.
So nothing like Leia at the end of Rogue One.
No. And then the vision fades and you sleep normally. And eventually you wake up and most of the clothing on your right arm and your hand wraps are all burned away and like you're covered in red skin and blisters.
How's my face healing?
It's healing at the normal rate. So it's been a couple hours.
Does it seem like it'll be horribly disfigured and burned?
Well, there will be some scarring because it's a burn mark on your face, but
I
not
mean,
like
is it like
it's
a third-degree burn victim?
No, it's just blisters.
He doesn't look like Darth Vader.
No, it's just blisters and reddened skin.
What, can you describe the creatures with long fingers for me? I need more words.
About 12 foot tall. If they weren't an image made of flame, they would have like dark, kind of like coffee-colored skin, long black claws on their toes and feet. Very muscular, very lean.
Anything like the Iceman, or definitely not?
No, no lizard qualities to them. They look like breakers. They're breakers.
Okay.
Some of them have hair. Some of them do not. They have pointed ears.
And the horned figure didn't look anything like them.
No, the horn figured looked like it might be a burner or a freet.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that what the Corn Queen is? Is a burner?
Yes. Burner or a freet or
Probably a
gun.
free. Probably queenie free.
Or just a normal one.
I think she's
I don't know how it works.
Possible, but like
We've been trying to figure out who these deities are throughout the whole thing, like, and how this incident had happened that led to them all being dead.
we spent I don't know 16 sessions trying to save a certain deity that ended up being just the deity that's been trying to
The
kill us the
Vekusu.
entire time.
The common belief in this society is that there's a god of everlasting winter, which is the Vekusu.
Lies.
The Vekusu are the ones that are trying to kill everyone.
Yeah, they're eating the
Well, that
planet.
makes sense. They're the Vekusu.
Damn Vekusu.
Kandara's a little concerned about your nappy times.
Nima's still staring.
I want
at
to tell when I wake up and get the opportunity during our travel. I'm not sure about everyone else yet, but I do want to tell Kandara what's going on.
What are you telling?
So I explain the dream I just had, and I basically say I have no idea what any of it means. I don't know. I just felt like I needed to get that off my chest to someone, but I didn't necessarily want it to be the whole group.
She uses healing word on your arm.
I tell her thank you.
I appreciate your honesty. I'm very concerned, Domino. That even if it's not controlling you, it's influencing you.
I can't deny that it's
What if
not
she-
influencing me.
What if she starts?
He's a maniac.
Like,
you lied
what
to
if
me?
what if she threatens you with burning you
No.
to get you to do something you don't want to do? I mean, like, and the spear turns on and it looks at her.
I haven't thought of that, did you?
Wait, on its own?
I turn it off. Does it go off?
No.
Oh, fuck yeah!
I knew it!
Fucker.
The beginning of the end!
And everybody thought my dragons were going to be the problem.
There's this long pause where Kandara's like looking at the eye of the spear, and the spear is like giving her like serious side eye, and then she kind of blinks closed, and it slows down, and it just shuts off.
I say, if
The spear that he has is a long rod of blackstone with a steel
that.
cap on it,
Yeah.
and it's got a stud on it that's a eye. It looks like the Thundercat's eye.
You know, that makes sense to me. So you can yell ho when you're about to battle.
well, I do now.
Yeah, you should.
Make sure she doesn't interpret that as you calling her a hoe.
No, I would never.
So where are you guys having this
our name to
discussion?
the Thundercats?
Somewhere privately with Kandara, if I can.
Like in a tent? Are you pitching a tent? But that's not my real question. Is there a way to put a slight hole there and watch?
Okay.
That's up to Clint, I suppose.
I know.
In
What's
her
my-
tent
what's
or
my,
wherever her quarters would be is where I'm having this discussion.
I feel like you guys are pulling apart camp and loading things, and
Okay.
you know.
Ooh, my stealth is +9, especially in the desert.
I guess the
Where we
biggest
are.
thing I want to stress to her is like, if I start getting threats from the spear, like right now I feel that, like, yeah, I'm getting burned, and I'm not sure what that's all about. But I feel like it's more of cries for help than it is do this
Started
for
after
me.
one of the cities.
If it burns, just take some penicillin. I find that helps.
You ever heard of like how when a
It's the
drowning
lotion
person
on
will
the
drown
skin,
someone
or
that tries to
else
save
you
them?
get-
It's kind of like this.
That's not the worst analogy.
He started having this itching and burning after we left the city and we stayed in that one place. Maybe it's
Just,
the
I
fleas.
asked Kandara to help
We
me
got some
keep an
hose
eye on
already.
things, and if she feels like
It's
things are
lava
getting out of hand
spiders.
for me, to let me know.
Okay.
See,
Of course.
I still feel like this is
Of course, Domino.
This is, ultimately, I want to kill the Vekusu and try to do what we can for Yafka. And if that means bad things for me, getting burned a little bit, whatever, that's not my concern, but I don't want to become evil, for lack of a better term, over this. And if she senses something like that, I want her to come with me.
She immediately goes to Nima, Jemba, and Metris. The kill order is Sasquatch.
Sounds awfully like a pact.
Okay, cuz.
Order 66.
So if we see some Jack Links, we're gonna just kill them?
No, when I say Sasquatch, which is a word I just made up right now that has no meaning in this planet.
Sam Squanch.
Can we switch it to Yeti? I think it's a little less common.
Yeah, Yeti.
Yeti
works.
It means kill domino.
I mean, that's the kill domino order.
Hey, alright.
What's the kill every?
I made this bed.
It's a Sam
Turok.
Squanch.
This is Kandara speaking to Turok.
Alright, lay down.
When we yell Yeti, that means it's go time. I think your first action is to shadow jump, grab the spear, bring it into shadows.
And leave it there.
If that's possible.
I don't know. I've never left it
I don't know
there.
either. I don't even know if it'll be able to come into the shadow realm with that Blackstone half, but
I'm touching it.
I feel like we should try.
I think you should try to come in the Shadow Realm.
I've been there. I've been there. You think I haven't been there, but I have.
At this,
You're preaching to the choir, man.
this is kind of when Cassius kind of
too hot
comes up and
outside.
he starts. Oh no, I've been thinking about it. He talks about how he's going to put
It's
the
got fucking
lantern
dark quick.
on his head, cover his vision and everything.
I don't like. Obviously, Domhnall doesn't have he's out of earshot of these conversations. But Kevin doesn't like that the talk is devolving on how to kill Domhnall. Things get out of control.
It's a necessary thing.
It's not about killing Domhnall. It's about
Separating
removing him from the spear's influence. If we start to feel that there is influence.
By death. That's how
Which
we're
I
gonna
think we
ruin
all feel that way.
Yeah.
Most of us.
You'll still get to say if you die or not.
So like this isn't a conversation I had. This is like me meta at the table. I feel like what's happening is like the spear's not having more influence over me. It's just becoming influence. It is because I want to make it more powerful because it's fucking sweet. But I feel like what's happening is that it's becoming more sentient, and it makes it seem like
I mean, it's now able to burn you and turn itself on.
no one else's weapons can talk to them. Like
You're
Which
saying
is
if my weapon
arguably
could talk,
pretty
it would
weird.
burn me alive.
that's a fair point. Okay,
Cassius
I don't
looks
know.
up from the lantern.
Kevin needs a beer. Let's move this. Let's move this along.
What's the name of the old guy again?
Herbert.
Okay, so Herbert.
Yes,
Now,
of
as
course.
you can see,
Nima. We've had many conversations before.
as
We're
you
close
can
friends.
see, my longbow is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's
very
a cool longbow.
It's a cool normal longbow.
Yeah. Is there anything that's more cool than this?
I'd have to look up. Everyone's been so focused on collecting melee weapons and cloaks and boots. I'd have to spend some time searching.
Who the fuck wants boots?
I don't know.
We have
We did find a
Blackstone.
pair of boots.
They did
And I am wearing them. So
They turn
it's
into
cool with
skis.
boot talk.
Okay. So,
That's what happens when
you know, if you
Back
ever,
on boots,
just
man.
in your passing, if you ever find anything that's more cool than this longbow,
Of course.
just let me know. 'cause
I will.
This is pretty damn cool.
It is.
got
I'm pleased.
Blackstone
I
arrow.
mean, you
I
have
named
Blackstone arrowheads.
I know. I noticed that. I was
One could
using
say it's
them
a
to
cool longbow.
It is
pick my
cool.
teeth.
So you guys roll out eventually after all this
Whatever.
bullshit.
And we went camping games. We wasted all our time talking.
Yes, you miss it all day talking. So you roll out and you start moving towards the mountainous volcanic region around the Fawn of Shadows. Herbert spends a lot of time camped out on the top of the wagon with several notebooks, comparing notes to kind of get a feel for the boots and belts of thunder and their location. First few days are uneventful. You've been kind of preparing, I assume, for the eventual appearance of dragons trying to approach you, but there doesn't appear to be anything green and scaly hunting you. Like you noticed, like when you got within a couple miles of the tomb, there weren't any more dragons trailing you, and now you've left that area, and they're still not trailing you. You're 24 miles or whatever from the tomb, and nothing green and scaly is trailing for you.
Which is weird.
Speaking of dragons, Karnan, make a nature check.
Your dragons are angry.
I'm not great at those. We'll see what happens. 14?
Okay. You've studied dragons a lot. You and Herbert had a whole library session. You know that dragons grow fast, assuming they have a good food supply, and they don't ever stop growing unless their food supply can't support their size. Dragons tend to get big quick when they're young, but their growth rate tends to even out once they reach a certain point, and it takes decades and decades of ample food supplies to get as big as that mother dragon you fought.
Just choose an old.
Yeah, she's probably.
She's
Killed her.
Yeah, she was a couple decades old.
We're dicks.
Yeah, you stole her kids. Smook and Hargar are growing fucking fast. Like a month ago, they were.
I'm a good dad.
Like a month ago, they were barely 5 feet long, but they've already gained, like in a month, a foot of length. And if this keeps up, they're going to be at least 10 feet long before the end of the year. So now your dragon stats are active that I sent you, emailed you today.
Hey.
So additional question: when you're dealing with Smoog and Hargar, do you talk to them like they're people? Like I talk to my cats. Like, what are you doing, cat? Or like I talk to Arya. Like, do you talk to them like that? Or are you more standoffish and more about like giving them commands and saying, "Hey, go there." Hey.
Do you have like a little whistle, like a professional dog trainer? How you doing?
Like,
No,
how do you-
I didn't. I'm not.
Privately, how do you interact with them? As
Yeah,
well?
I chat with them.
Okay.
He does the season on thing.
That's where the peanut butter is.
Nima rolls a nature check to see how long until they're fully grown. 19.
A
At this
normal
rate.
dragon, it could take decades. But they're growing very fast, so who knows?
Seems like a 19 was a pretty good roll.
There's no real cap on dragon size. They get as big as they get.
Oh, nice.
Ooh. Oh, hello. Oh.
Pass them down. All right, I'll get it.
Oh.
Oh, that's good. What is that?
Slab beef jerky.
Nice.
It's fantastic.
What?
Is that
Slab.
homemade?
What the fuck is that?
It's from Berthel's Packaging.
Thank you.
Like, I didn't make it, but yes, it's homemade.
It was made in someone's home.
That's good stuff.
It's the lotion
Very
on the
good.
skin, or else it's the hose again. Thank you, sir.
No. That was a terrible roll.
So what were you trying to figure out about dragons? Like how long
Oh.
before they get to their max size?
Yeah, and I'd also like to know if they have the ability to camouflage themselves like a said chameleon.
They do not. And it's hard to say when they will reach it full size. It just depends on if they get food. Like if like right now, like
Depends
he's,
on-
What are you feeding them? Like HGH?
Yeah.
Okay.
DGH.
Protein shakes and mass gainer and
That's basically it, yeah. Well,
every
originally,
other dragon
Well,
you
look
guys
at them
come,
gains, bro.
Everything we kill.
They've not had even
mean,
like water without protein in it.
I mean, originally it was little bugs and stuff, but now I think we've moved on to hunted meat.
yeah, hunted meat.
Other dragons.
and you
Yeah.
bought 50 gold worth of meat, which is
Yeah.
Like,
I did.
is anyone
an
else a ranger?
absolutely ungodly amount of
Nope.
meat.
Oh, so you're
Only
the only
3
one that
levels.
knows how to hunt like I do then?
Not as good as you do.
I have a hunting background
I'm only,
because
I'm
I
only
was
3 levels.
a member of a tribe.
I mean,
That
in
ain't
all,
shit.
in all reality, I probably should take some, levels in Ranger, but
So, in all honesty, I chose rogue, but I did not go with the stealthy type of rogue. I went with the flashy, showy type of rogue. So
I never said it was a good idea. It just happened.
he's not the,
The
kind
dragons?
of person that you'd want.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would go this far, I'm being honest.
You thought I'd be dead by now. Yeah, I did too.
I
I have a
have
hunting trap. Come on, I'm a hunter.
I have a component pouch that's 2 pounds.
So how does...
I don't know what that means.
That's freaking
That's for
great.
spells.
No.
That's great.
I have an infinite supply of blackstone tipped
This actually isn't as good as
arrowheads,
it
which I
usually
used to pick my teeth
That's
with.
You should
fantastic.
sell those.
So
I don't.
should I take... I think
So-
I sell 1,000 arrowheads.
You're all out now.
The dip is
So
like when you dip in 1 or 2
days
levels.
pass. Nothing much happens in your end of the desert. A razor storm comes howling up out of the area around the font, which are hundreds of miles away. Heads south. Peters out almost immediately.
Peter.
Yeah, I did. And still no dragons.
At least you didn't touch me.
No dragons hunting you.
Okay, go that way.
It's now the 3rd of 10th month. It's been about 8 days since you left the tomb. You're all sitting down to eat. Herbert has his notes out. And he says, the language regarding the Boots and Belt of Thunder is somewhat confusing. I feel that I could say with some degree of certainty that a flesh-eater tribe in the area we note as Q20 on our maps does possess an artifact, but the language is rough, and accounts are fragmented. Sometimes the artifact is referred to as boots, but there's also mention of gauntlets, and while others speak of what might be described as a weapon harness of some kind. Additionally, I found accounts that ascribe different sets of abilities to what I think are the item we are referring to as the Boots and Belt of Thunder. One speaks of what can be described as increased momentum, others speak of increased physical strength, and several speak of lightning or storms around the wearer's feet.
A little off topic, but when we noticed, roughly when we noticed the dragons weren't following us anymore, were we within the circle that we also noticed that husks don't live outside?
There was no
around?
correlation. No correlation to that between the two areas.
If they've been described as boots, gauntlets, and some sort of sheath for a weapon, are we dealing with some quadrupedal living weapon here? I think that's what it is.
Like a dragon?
You mean the area around the font that holds? And then you guys were well outside that when you were way east of that when the dragon stopped following you.
I wonder what they eat.
There doesn't seem to be there would be no correlation in your head as far as if the two were related.
A 14 on a nature check.
Scraps of leather.
In our party acting any different with the absence of...
Not right now. I mean, they're more chill, but the dragons, they were getting worked up because there were a lot more dragons.
They're not keep pricking their heads up.
No, they're actually returned to their fairly normal behavior.
So you're talking about my
It's
dragon?
like
Yeah,
a situation where they have a blade sharp.
I guess I didn't realize they reacted to the other dragons.
Yeah, they were getting a little agitated, but you handled it.
Like a boss.
Yes.
If you need any help with your dragons, please let someone else know.
They're good.
So
someone else is in, not you.
6 days pass. Again, pretty uneventfully.
That's what they're gonna look like.
It's now the 9th of 10th month. You're still heading west.
Kinda like a dragon.
Are any of you using the spyglass to watch the horizon, or are you letting archers in the group handle that? No.
Spyglass, what your arrow
Kind of one of the archers, I guess. Either way.
I'm just standing with my hands like this. Is anyone combing the desert?
So Nima, who is watching the horizon ahead of you with a spyglass, you see dragons lying on the ground.
Oh.
Are they ones that we should be concerned about, or are they?
They're not moving. They're just laying there.
Laying there, they're sunning themselves.
You need to get a little bit closer before you get any details. You're basically just seeing the shape of their bodies lying on the flat ground.
Like a lot of them?
Maybe a dozen.
So.
And they're not right directly ahead of you, but they're kind of you'll eventually pass.
Can I stop the caravan?
Yes.
Use my I don't remember what the. Hold on a second here. I'm trying to remember.
What size category?
Desert is one of my
medium
natural explorer choices, so
they're a little bit
that
bigger
benefits
than
me.
Smooth and Hagar, but not big enough that they're large.
What is natural?
Terrain is desert. Yeah, that makes sense.
So what is the favorite terrain?
It's stuff you can't get lost in it. You not hindered by.
Do I get any bonuses to stealth or anything like that?
You should say it on there.
You have a favorite terrain type. Your proficiency bonus is doubled for proficient skills when you make an intelligence or wisdom check related to it. While traveling for an hour or more in your chosen terrain, difficult terrain doesn't slow your group's travel. Your group can't become lost except by magical means. You remain alert to danger when you are engaged in another activity. You can move stealthily at normal pace while alone. You find twice as much food while foraging, while tracking creatures. You learn the exact number, sizes, and how long ago they passed through the
So I'm
area.
going to stop the caravan and use my terrain to travel forward and observe what the dragons are doing at a closer distance without alerting them to everyone else's presence.
You travel for maybe half hour, and then you start to get a better bead on what's going on, because they're pretty far off. At a certain point, you realize they're dead. That's what's happening. They're just dead dragons lying there. About a dozen of them.
Do they have carrion flying around them?
Yeah. As you get closer, you can see clouds of flies and stuff.
Okay, well, I'll go back.
Are they dragonflies?
No.
It's your natural explorer.
That's great. Should mark that one as a great joke. All right, let's go back.
Making a note. Huge success.
What are those things that we get bonuses for doing?
Inspiration.
That's the one. That should be an inspiration point.
You can give him inspiration.
I can't.
It means nothing.
I'm not
Good.
inspirational. Let's go back. I'm going to go back, let everyone know those dragons are dead.
Okay. Did you guys approach, investigate, that kind
Might
of
as
thing?
well.
Yeah,
I think we should.
They're dead.
I mean, who killed the dragons, and why?
So you guys cautiously approach the pile of dragons. You're still a couple yards away when there's a shriek from the sky above your heads, and a desert raptor arrows down out of the sky and folds its 5-foot-long wings against its body and
Uno momento, por favor.
lands atop a
It says
dragon.
that I should remain alert to danger in my terrain.
There's a dragon.
You should have probably told
there's a
me
bird.
that it was
What
there.
that
Why wouldn't I
what
have
that
noticed
equates
that
to
before?
mechanically is they don't get a surprise round.
It wasn't
on
a
you.
danger until he's coming at you.
Okay.
What is the language? What does it say?
This
It
is your
just says
main alert.
I'm alert to danger.
Not.
I'm alert. I remain alert to danger.
He did.
so-
He did alert you of it,
I
right?
did alert you.
Yeah, as it attacks us. So I guess
It didn't attack you. It landed on a dragon.
Oh, so it didn't come after us.
No,
The
it
rules is
landed.
intended. It's to prevent surprise rounds.
That makes sense.
Which aren't really a
that.
thing in 5th edition. Which are.
They do have surprise attacks, I guess. but-
What just happened?
Whatever.
Do you guys know Mike Merles doesn't use the initiative rules in the player's handbook? Doesn't like them.
Did not know that.
Who doesn't?
What a weirdo.
One of the designers of
Who else
5th
do I know that
edition.
doesn't like their
The
initiative
like
rules?
CEO.
So this big desert raptor is maybe
What do you know?
4.5 feet tall. It's easily 30 pounds of avian predator. It's got huge talons. It's curved beak, and it glares at you guys and just it starts tearing apart dragon meat.
Or its talons sharp.
Yes, they're very sharp. Smoog and Hargar refuse to approach the dead dragons. They stay about 40 or 50 feet back from the rest of the group, and now they're actually agitated.
Thought they weren't bothered by.
Can
dead
we
dragons
tell
before.
what killed these dragons?
Looking at them,
Is there like
you have to get
marks
a little-
of battle or you know?
yeah, they look like they've been attacked by something with big claws.
It's not like disease or something.
It's not disease, no. There's a little bit of blood on them, but there's no blood on the ground around them.
So whatever attacked it drinks blood.
Yes.
So
Sure.
what condition are the hides in? Like if I get like all the way up to like where I'm touching one, are they starting to rot or
They smell a little rotten, but they're not.
The desert sun will do that pretty quick, I'm sure.
Make a perception check
perception?
or medicine.
You know, you leave a steak on the picnic table, it's gonna smell pretty bad.
That's true.
Depends on how hot it is out.
It's desert hot. Yeah, I think it's like low 100 around here, so like
That should dry it out pretty quick, so it shouldn't smell very bad.
23
for science.
For perception. Based on your knowledge of killing animals and stuff, you can tell that these dragons were not killed all at the same time. They were killed someplace else, laid here.
What? Do you want another
The oldest is probably less than a week old. The freshest is probably a day or two old.
Oldest is
Are they in any kind of
Kill
pattern?
or
How long it's been dead?
Okay.
Are they in any kind of pattern?
What size are they?
They range from like
Questions.
they range from like small to like maybe a little bit bigger than Smoog and Harga.
Okay, that's the
They're not
Do you
old
wanna
dragons.
They're not super
So
old
if we were to
dragons.
like look at them from an aerial view, would they like spell something out?
No.
Okay.
No, they're
Yeah,
just kind of like
often
piled.
they-
It's just like,
Okay.
Where are we at on the map?
I guess let,
I don't know.
We're right in another big pile of dead
Between
dragons.
somewhere over there and heading
I'll
to
try
the
to
middle.
salvage what I
You're
can.
east of the Font of Shadows.
I'll try to salvage what I can because
Somewhere
if
here.
all the dragons in the world are following us, we
I
have a
can- I feel
monopoly on
memory for
dragons.
maps.
All the
Due to my
dragons in the world
one
are following us?
Allegedly.
So I think I know.
Now that you
It's kind
I have
of
a
a
little
shit
more for you.
situation.
I don't.
As you're
Can't
looking at
talk
these
about
guys, you do see a large 5-clawed footprint. Definitely a dragon footprint.
Like bigger than any of these dragons?
Yes.
Can
Like
I
as
fit
big
in
as
the
the other
footprint?
dragon that they killed?
You're looking at something
without
that's
me?
maybe along the lines of like 15 to 20 feet long.
So not quite as long as the mother clacker.
Correct.
She
about
was
that size right
60.
there?
And the claws look much wider and thicker
Then the
like
clacker?
than a
So possibly a male dragon.
could be.
Is it
Can I,
red?
can I roll a check to see if I feel that it's a male dragon?
No.
Is it this one?
Does it
Are
smell like
red?
testosterone?
No, it's not that.
Are you sure?
I am 100% sure that it's not that.
Okay.
There's like a dragon right there, though.
Make a nature check as you're looking at these claw prints that Cassius has brought to your attention.
I'm
terrible at these things.
You know dragons. You're the one that knows dragons the most.
These claw prints are digger dragon claw prints. They're they're like horn dragons, but they have spade-like claws rather than like narrow talons.
They are underestimated.
So they dig through the earth.
Do we see any evidence of holes?
Do you want to look around?
Do they do like
Not really.
that tarantula thing where they have trap
Yeah,
doors?
let's.
Yes, they definitely do that.
What do you want? Do you want a perception check or investigation?
Survival check to do tracking for these claws.
Okay. That's a 5.
Okay. You wander.
I know all.
Carden wanders off into the desert.
So this is some sort of
Can I roll a survival check to see what?
Yes.
If anything is still around that might have killed these.
You can track. You can use survival to follow the tracks.
And I get double, right?
I guess.
On my survival check
I don't
in
Sure.
desert.
Yeah, why not?
double
So that's
You can be my Patrick.
That's 20.
What?
That's a 20.
20? Okay. So you wander away from the group, and maybe they follow you, maybe they don't. And maybe
No one needs to follow me. I have a really cool bow.
maybe like 100 yards north, you find a large disturbed pile of earth. Maybe large enough that if it were a burrowing hole, it would fit a 20-foot long dragon.
if it were.
Seems there's danger, maybe afoot. I click on my spear.
Okay.
And Kandar sees him looking weird for the first time, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, Domino! What the?
What do you look different?
This happens now.
Well, he's got like
He's got like
smoky
when he turns on the
appendages.
spear now, like this big like smoky burning embers like part gunk covers his left thigh, right femur, and like the top like portion front of his head.
So you don't think like someone's trying
Oh,
to
dude,
break
it is
the
where
other-
I haven't got burned on my left leg yet, though, have I?
No.
But you got burned on the face
artifacts
before you
from
had the
one person,
skull.
Don't you think we're possibly trying to bring him back to life?
What's that?
Just nothing.
What?
No.
Come on.
Nope.
Tell us.
We're good. Escape dragon hole.
Yeah, there's a big dragon hole.
We could leave. We could.
Yeah.
We could leave.
Yeah, but we
should.
No, yeah, let's keep going where we're going.
We need to see if there's. We can use the talons as shovels.
And at this point, the desert raptor's kind of like walking around the ground, like following Smoog and Hargar. Like,
He thinks they're gonna die.
no, it's just
The rest of them are dead. It makes sense, I guess.
it's just walking on its feet, kind of like slowly following these two dragons as they try to.
Can I tame the desert raptor?
You could try.
Do it. You can certainly try.
14 plus.
So what he's gonna do is he's gonna
What check are
he's
we
gonna
using?
sneak up.
I don't know. What do you want to use?
17
4
to charm the
with
pants off of it.
With
He's
what?
gonna sit
Sneak
wearing
up behind
pants
it.
what skill?
With my
and drop his
skin
scum up
flute.
He's gonna fucking fall.
It's the only.
What skill are you
The only
using?
2 proficiencies.
What skill are you using? The skin flute?
Animal handling.
Animal handling?
I told you that like 6 times.
I didn't pay attention.
I know this.
So, like, what are you doing? Are you like throwing it up
I'm sure
a
there's a
dragon?
I think this is what he's doing. Yeah. Oh,
Maybe
it's
not
actually
really.
mine. Never mind.
Okay, so he calmly walks up to the desert raptor.
Steady.
Kind of like the guy from the new Jurassic Worlds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, click,
One
click,
guy.
click,
Click,
click.
guy, and he's like. And he's trying to get it to stay calm, and feeding it little scraps of meat that he has from rabbits.
From rabbits.
Yeah, that he didn't find in the last 2 weeks because he's been in the desert for a while.
Desert rabbits.
Desert rabbits, yeah.
Around here.
It flies away.
Those are called groundhogs.
Touche, salesman. That's gonna be my new thing.
Okay. All right. Do you guys want to investigate the dragon hole anymore?
Yeah,
Do we
I
think
think
it's
we should
dead
not
in there?
stick
Do we
around
think it's
here.
dead?
Does everyone else
It's not
agree?
dead.
Is it breathing?
There's no signs that this burrowing dragon has died.
Yeah, so I definitely think we should.
So that sounds like
Yeah, I'm from
Friday night for me, but
So, a few more days pass. It's now the 12th of the 10th month. You're taking a short break to give everyone and your crowsank chance to munch on some food and that sort of thing.
4 hours.
Herbert still has his books out. He's choking down some salted crowsank meat. He's kind of sitting on top of a wagon, like looking at his notes, eating, kind of muttering to himself. And you guys, like, he's not whispering to himself. He's just kind of like talking and like not really paying attention to if anyone's listening. And you hear him say something like, I believe I've discovered which tribe of flesh eaters we're looking for, but the naming conventions are confusing or improperly translated. Flesh eaters tend to be, if not stupid, at least simple-minded and brutish. They have language, society, albeit horrifying kind of language and society. But their names tend to be simple, with lots of symbology involving bones and blood and weapons, marrow lickers, bone ghosts, simple imagery like skull drinkers, stuff designed to strike fear into their enemies. This particular tribe goes by something like Marhunak, which and the closest translation I can find of that is graybeards or hairy men. I lack context. I can't find any factual information about their culture, and all I can find are accounts of neighboring tribes that spoke to their other neighbors of these flesh eaters.
So these hairy men, did you just rank yourself into the campaign?
Just a bunch of Clint standing there.
Describing everything. Look at that. Saying.
It's how he actually created
really
He first created this village of Clint's, and then they worked for it.
They go out and describe everything while you're walking by.
Sitting in the tent with a notebook, like writing it down.
A group of 7 warriors walks up to us.
I'm being stabbed.
They have some wagons and a dude that's sitting there reading books and shit.
Clint's the guy in Monty Python that wrote.
Maybe he died.
No, that's how it reads. Oh.
Who would say it? Maybe he was trying.
I'll pull the pin.
All right.
So
back on track.
To the number 3. No more, no less.
Several more days pass. It's now the 20th of 10th month. You now have 37 days of supplies.
37?
Yep. And you're about a day's travel from the border of square Q20.
That's also how many dicks Dante's girlfriend sucked, but
you're all sitting down to eat mushroom burgers.
Yes.
Herbert says, I've basically exhausted all my notes about the artifact and this so-called hairy men tribe. I've been researching the other flesh eaters of the area instead, and there's nothing terribly notable about them. They're barbaric tribes of the deep desert that turned to cannibalism and albinism, and over the past few generations that feed on each other. We are all familiar with flesh eaters.
Wait, they're albinos?
Mm-hmm. There's a big cloud of like whatever that hangs over the center. It causes like razor storms.
However, it seems like because of the threat of husks in the area, these tribes tend to be stationary rather than nomadic. Most tribes in the deep desert, including flesh eaters, tend to be nomadic and follow game, or cycling through what few water sources there are to avoid depleting them. These flesh eaters seem to colonize this area and have stationary tribes. I'm not sure, but I would guess that this modification of the culture stems from a need to defend against the husks, or potentially these graybeards, hairy men tribe of flesh eaters.
Should take him to the dog park.
So that's neat. Any questions, comments, concerns?
We haven't seen any signs of like any husks or flesh eaters yet.
No trails of hair.
No trails of hair. Okay.
I'm Ranger.
Besides the ones that I'm leaving.
I'm going to pause it and take a break.
All
right.
Fireball!
Okay. Good times. So it's the 21st of 10th month. This is square Q20. Because we sort of hand wave travel and don't really deal with plotting routes, you can enter along any square along the southern, that's the side, or eastern edge, because you were coming from the west. Or the east, excuse me. So this is going to be a kind of exploration.
I'm going to go 5 also.
Huh?
E5 is
Domino's vote is 5. Square 5.
Square 5.
E5.
E5. So this is Q20, which is about 50 square miles. Each of these little squares in here is a 10 mile by 10 mile space. Somewhere in here is the artifact we've dubbed the Belt and Boots of Thunder. They're also
lower half of Thunder, yes.
Lower half of Thunder. There's also going to be Flesh Eater tribes, husks, and random shit that has no relation to anything that's going on in the plot. And there are also going to be clues to where the tribe with the artifact is. Because it's insane to make you guys wade through like 10 different like tribes of flesh eaters and a dozen groups of husks, it would be a massive time sink. We're just going to do an exploration kind of mini game.
Yay!
So it takes about a day to search each of these 10 mile by 10 mile squares. Normally you can move about 24 miles per day. So we're just going to kind of hand wave that. It takes 1 day to search the square if you're moving at a normal pace. If you want to move faster or slower, that'll carry certain penalties. Moving faster will allow you to search it in a half day, but you can't use stealth to avoid any dangers. If you move slow, it takes about a day and a half to get through a square, and that offers advantage on what is it?
So what's the difference between a husk and a flesh eater?
Husk is undead. A flesh eater is a cannibal.
Yep.
Okay, so how do we know we're in an area that has husks or?
They start falling on you, basically.
Yeah.
If you've got any
Yeah,
studs,
they're attracted to magic.
if you got any studs, they'll target you. But
Yeah. I don't think you do.
No, I don't. I just have a really cool bow.
So normal pace.
It's pretty awesome.
Normal pace is mostly normal. The only issue with traveling at a normal pace is that failing a stealth check to avoid an enemy gives them advantage on their attacks against you.
Ooh.
I painted flames and that's so close.
Fast pace means that it takes half a day to explore a section fully, but you have disadvantage on investigation type skill checks like perception and investigation. And you can't use stealth if you're moving at a fast pace. But you do take reduced damage from combat encounters because you're just kind of punching through and just trying to disengage from the enemy. Moving at a slow pace, which is the only speed you can move at if you have your wagons with you, means that you take about a day and a half to explore a section. You have advantage on investigation and such. Stealth is possible, but foes don't get advantage on the attack roll against you if they detect you. You also take more damage from combat encounters because you're moving slower. It's harder for you to disengage. Stealth, if you're trying to stealth through a section when you detected like enemies or something like that, it's pretty simple. We'll take the lowest stealth from the group versus a perception roll from the enemies and go from there. Combat, also going to be abstracted. You're all going to make attack rolls. We're going to take the best attack roll versus the attack roll of the enemies and compare the results. How much higher or lower you guys are than their attack roll, the enemy's attack roll, will determine if you guys take any damage at all.
If you guys hate this, don't just be mad at Clint, because me and Kyle signed up.
These two are both involved in combat. Healing,
help create some of the
as long as you're undetected in this area, you heal up to max hit points at the end of every day. That kind of reflects, once you're detected, you just heal your constitution modifier. That kind of reflects, like, now the people in the area are aware of you because sound carries, so people are hunting you, it's harder for you to catch a break. At any time, you can activate the skull turn, heal up to max hit points automatically, all of you.
Bring the Shadow Creature's Wrath.
And Shadow Creature Bomb, whatever square we're in.
Any of you with second wind can use that once a day. And anytime you want to use your healing studs to heal, you can do that, and we'll just distribute that healing among you all, however you guys want. But you have to roll like stud use, and that can slow you guys down. So it's kind of a balance of how fast you want to move. Now, one thing that we've never really gotten into before is there's about a 5% chance every day that razor storms happen. Normally you're hundreds of miles away from the Font of Shadows. You guys are about 50 miles away from the Font of Shadows right now. So if a razor storm happens, it could conceivably come on you guys. So that's also a concern. You don't want to hang around
That's
this area.
concerning in multiple dimensions.
Yes, but again, there's only a 5% chance of it per day.
When we go to leave here, I want to.
There are 25
Come on, no natural one.
So on average, we should encounter one.
I want to
If
go
we
back
get to natural
to
20, he's trying for it.
how we had initially got the initial prophecy
Yeah.
and see if it has any effect on his dreams.
What's that?
Go back
Can
to
we
the
split the
how we
party?
got the initial,
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can do that.
and then see if it has any effect on his.
So, this whole area is pretty rough terrain. There are rocky spots of fractured stone and obsidian. These mountains here are mostly like rocky, broken terrain and obsidian and a little bit of active lava. This is just a giant miles wide lava flow. Giant ravine here. A bunch of black hills on the ground here. This looks like a crater of some kind. There's a little lone mountain over here and a slightly larger mountain over here.
I bet that's where they are. They're B2, I guarantee it.
B2? Okay.
You guarantee it.
Guarantee it.
Bad.
R2B2.
So,
once we start getting into dangerous terrain, I'm going to activate in plain sight. I'm going to spend a minute creating camouflage for myself, so if I ever need it, I have it.
okay. I'm very happy for you.
I know. It's the one ability I can use.
Okay. And you guys do have access to all your abilities and studs and stuff, so if you have any ideas about what you want to do, feel free to use those and we'll see if we can figure out something.
Create bonfire.
What's studs?
Yeah, exactly what I'm talking about.
No, it's studs, yes.
Hashtag what's studs?
Yes. So, you guys have all fought. I'm not going to get really bogged down in description. You guys have fought husks before. You fought flesh eaters off camera. They're mostly described as albinos. Some of them are, some of them aren't. Some of them look just like you guys, dark-skinned humans. They all tend to be emaciated, on the verge of starvation. Lean muscles and bones clearly standing out in their skin. Most are naked. Some wear loincloths. Very few have any armor or stuff like that. And what they do have is mostly rags and poorly cured leather. They use a lot of bone and stone weapons. They have language in society, but it's mostly grunts and coughs and not words. A lot of them, their teeth come in two varieties, rotten and falling out, and ones where they've been chipped to be sharp.
So British?
Yeah, sure. A lot of them have genetic defects like lazy eyes, fused fingers, club feet and stuff.
British again.
Anyway, there's no singular appearance to flesh eaters, but they are generally humanoid. Generally human.
Like that you put generally in there.
All right, so where's the also time is kind of a factor, like I said, for a couple reasons. The first is that razor storms are a threat. The second reason is that on certain days, certain things are in certain areas of the map. The tribes send out scout patrols. So if you encounter the scout patrol in an area where it's scouting rather than with the tribe's going to be easier to fight your way through. Or vice versa, their scouts are with the tribe, that's going to be harder.
Is that the guys from work?
So.
No.
All right. It's day one.
Day one.
What do we find?
You're in E5. This area is mostly just...
Do we find it?
Shit, I thought you guys
Damn
were
it,
coming
this puzzle sucked!
I thought you'd come in at A5. I really thought this would take longer.
So...
Oh my god, it's an A5.
It's... Where is E5? E5. This area is relatively flat and uninteresting. To the north are the mini mountains of rock and obsidian and stuff like that. To the northwest is what you think is a large crater or caldera.
What does that mean?
It's like a volcanic,
It's like when a volcano blows up and then there's a crater left over.
Yeah.
Never heard that term.
Yeah, either way.
That's what Yellowstone is.
No?
A caldera.
And it's also
it's
a super
swelling.
volcano.
It's also a super volcano.
The whole country.
They blew up the whole country. And they were going to use it for geothermal power, but then they were like, this might make it explode. Let's not do that.
I'd rather use the sun for geothermal.
So, are you guys moving at normal pace, fast pace?
It's Caldera.
Caldera.
That's what Google says.
Okay. Normal pace, fast pace, slow pace?
Slow pace,
Normal.
probably. Are we taking the wagons with us?
Yeah. Are you guys taking the wagons? What pace are you moving at?
Because if we're taking the wagons, we gotta be at slow, he said.
Well, we probably should take the wagons.
Well, if we're at slow, we can thoroughly search too, right?
Yeah, you get advantage on
And sneak,
investigation
but
and
then not
stuff.
have the disadvantage of being caught when sneaking.
I say we take the wagons.
But you take more damage from combat encounters.
We can still circle the wagons. right?
Combat, schmombat.
Yeah, there's 3 wagons or something like
Do you guys want to split the
You
party?
can make a circle
Yes.
with 3.
You can
No, we don't.
No.
There are rules to that.
A tricircular figure.
The chances of us dying are so low. There's the most.
We can make a polygon.
Fair.
Technically,
there is not an infinite number of points.
I mean, we're all usually here, just not us.
Technically,
right?
you can create a circle between 3 points. I mean,
we are
geometrically it's a triangle.
Usually.
Yeah.
But you can create a circle between 3 points.
Yeah. In alchemy.
Fast, slow, or normal?
Slow.
Slow, fine. Slow wagons, I'm good with that.
Okay.
I don't care either way.
The first
Can I spend a few minutes camouflaging the wagons?
Just covering them in
Putting
sand and whatnot?
putting some sand on them.
As long as you're on the wagon. Because it's just you that you
paint my
camouflage.
wagon, gonna paint it good.
Okay. So, who wants to make a perception?
That's a deep dive of Simpsons reference right
You
there.
guys have advantage.
Investigate or perception?
Perception, either or.
Perceptigate.
All of us?
I have
What's
results
better?
for both.
We have advantage?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely perception. Fuck investigation.
I didn't get my dice out.
With advantage?
I'll
The thing is, one
perceptify it.
natural one. The other one is
That's here.
24.
Oh, 22. 22.
25.
For perception.
We
16.
try to keep an eye on your
All right.
dragon.
9.
It's-
So the terrain is pretty rocky, pretty flat. You don't really find anything. You don't see any husks tracks. You don't see any flesh eater tracks. Well, there are some flesh eater tracks, but nothing recent. So, you spend a day and a half wandering around aimlessly in this area. Don't really
How
find
can you
any
tell the difference between flesh eater tracks and undead
Bones.
tracks? They're both. Huh?
bones.
Okay.
Like flesh eaters spend their husks spend their lives like wandering around in a rocky desert. Like there is no flesh left on their feet. It's all bone.
Why are their feet stay together?
Magic.
Magic.
Okay.
Why is anything?
So you can hand wave it.
Why can I shoot a fireball out of my hand?
All right. So where do you guys want to go next?
You guys want to do
D4. D4.
May D4s be with you.
Are we split up and go
Go
D4?
to the big crater? That's what we're gonna do?
We go D4 and E4.
Are we in E4 right now?
Throw dice and
You're in
Diana,
E5.
wherever it lands.
Oh, I thought we moved.
No.
No, we're
That's
checking
just
the first square we
this is
moved
your
in.
first day in.
Okay.
We moved into that square. Say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Are you doing
Split it.
D4?
split the party.
D4 and E4. That's only like
D4.
miles apart.
Who should are we
Take
using?
a day's
for
trip.
The party?
And I want to stress that Dominal Spear is off unless there's danger.
Okay.
Unless it turns itself on.
Yeah.
Turn yourself on.
Which is a thing now.
So if he sees another picture of a spear going at it with another spear, you might be hit.
Keep your
You might be at risk.
keep your flesh fluid in your
my
pants.
fuck.
So keep your flesh fluid in your pants might make his spear excited.
You get inspiration for the joke.
No, I'm not rewarding that kind of behavior. Anyone?
I vote D4.
D4.
I'm good with D4.
All right.
D4s.
You guys are in D4.
or E4 or whatever.
To the Caldara.
Do we want to use a token or anything to designate which squares you've been searched?
Oh, those are my fireball die.
Here, use any of these.
You won't
Here,
be using
I'll
them.
grab.
We could use those, but I put them in the soup.
Grab your die of searching.
Kyle bought all these tokens. We might as well use them for something.
The tokens of mark.
Chase, you're freaking everywhere.
This is a bottle opener?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I hope we don't need more than that.
We'll need precisely 25.
Oh, so it's just in the last square.
Whatever square you guys search, it's in the last one.
The last one, it just moves. So, all right, D4. All right. Interesting. All right. So this section of the area is dominated by what you think is a large caldera. It appears to be a crater with like a slight rise at the edge. You can see faint plumes of steam rising. Go ahead and make perception.
With advantage?
Yeah.
28.
24.
I did the best. Nobody can do better than me. Come on.
20s, yeah.
24.
Nobody do better than me.
28's hard to beat.
Is it still desert
I rolled
terrain?
natural twice.
What's that?
Is it still desert terrain?
Sure.
And it's a lot. I don't know.
It's still 24.
What archetype are you for range?
24. Anyone higher than 24?
28.
I hit
28.
25 without my double.
Okay.
The
Um,
NPC art.
So you guys spend a day and a half exploring this area, and you discover that the miles-wide crater is actually full of water. Like this is an actual this is something that's common with calderas. They fill in with water as they become a sinkhole, close off the lava, and be filled with water. And it's not the greenish acidic water of the oceans around Yafka either. It's a clear blue color.
Like Lake Titicaca.
Like what's produced in the cities by the purifiers. Steam does kind of roll off the surface of the water, and you can feel that it's cool. If you were to investigate the water itself, you feel that it's very warm. Not like scalding, but it's warm.
I don't know what that means.
In the center of the caldera is a small kind of rocky island type thing. And you can see what looks like a winged dragon in it. And this is miles away from you guys. You guys are using a spyglass to see this. The creature is kind of set down on this rocky island, and it's quite large, maybe like 40 or 50 feet tall when it's standing on its hind legs. And it kind of leans forward, and it's just like resting its wings on the ground, kind of like it's got those, like similar to the dragons from Game of Thrones. Like it's got like the kind of claws at the upper portion of the wings to like stand on. They're not like super strong arms.
Bat wings.
Bat wings, yes, bat wings. And it's just kind of like gulping water down, and it's got this huge, long, barbed tail.
How was it gulping water down again?
I charge right towards it.
It's miles away, and you gotta swim. So
I swim. It's gonna take you a while, but I commend your efforts.
It's clearly a winged dragon, but they don't get this big. Like anytime you've ever seen them or heard about them, they've been like the size of like a parrot or an eagle. You know, they're not.
This is when we could ride.
It is one you could ride.
How big is the queen we killed?
60 feet long. And this one is much, much leaner than her. Like its wings are like super muscular and maybe like 100 foot wingspan. But like the majority of it is very lean and skinny. Still powerful enough to give you a good hit, but like not anywhere near as like beefy as she was.
It doesn't have to hit. It doesn't have to hit you. It just has to pick you up
and drop you. Yes. So it hangs around for a while, like gulping down water, and eventually it lurches into the air, and it looks kind of ungainly as it takes off. But like once its wings start going, it's a pretty decent flyer, and it heads to the southwest. And she turns on when it kind of flies, like it's flying back over you guys, kind of, and she kind of looks at it, and she says,
something
in your head, ally. And then the dragon roars as it's flying overhead, and it says, no voice. Familiar voice.
The dragon says no voice?
No, she does, the spear. She turns on.
She knows the dragon is what
she turns on and looks at the dragon.
And says ally.
Ally.
And then she says no voice, familiar voice?
Yes. In your head. But yeah.
What's up, Domhnall?
And he just flies southwest.
Yeah, I tell everyone that.
Okay. He tells you guys that.
I say my spirit just turned itself on. This was it.
Like we were worried about.
That seems
yes,
normal.
but it's another party member. Look at it that way.
It gets to have opinions too.
I think
when it turns on, is it like a quiet like thing, or is it like a like we know.
like that. Like then all this ash and burning embers are swirling around.
It's not like a.
You can't miss it. It's like a
I'm covered in shit now. Yeah, it's hard to miss.
Hey guys.
Does Dom speak to him? I didn't even know.
It wasn't me. Like, I can't.
It'd be funny if he didn't say anything.
Sorry,
it turns on and turns off for John. Well, what's going on over there, Tom? Oh, nothing. You know.
Let me get a towel.
It's like so. What do you think that means for us, Dom?
It's like that scene.
Best case scenario, we meet this dragon. And,
we meet the 8th party member,
and we pick up a 60-foot dragon. Yeah, you know.
Fast travel.
That seems better than 2 6-foot dragons.
Someone make a perception check.
I agree.
26.
Okay. So you follow it with the spyglass, and the sky of Yafka is crystal clear. There are no clouds. So with the spyglass, it's easy to see that it flies all the way over to this little mountain here.
Where it's protecting the boots of thunder. Was it wearing boots?
No, it wasn't wearing boots.
Okay.
We don't know that
it didn't have a harness.
Don't have treasure hoards.
That's true.
We don't know that.
I
didn't know there was winged dragons until like now.
What? Did it have any swords?
Yeah,
no swords of bow.
Any cool bows?
Yes, there was a cool bow.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it's on its back.
We need to go to there.
But was it cool? Was it a cool lure bow?
It was a bigger bow.
Like Like the
Someone
dragon
else's
drawn
staff
it and
just
fired it.
activated.
Like you have the.
It's a foot archer, is what it is. It puts the bow in its talons. And
I've seen YouTube videos.
So that's that.
Let's see what the connectors are.
I say we go to C3.
So do we go see the
C3?
dragon? I don't think we don't go see the dragon. I'm gonna be honest.
Clint, is there like an internet?
It'd be the same
star?
amount of turns to get to the
what?
dragon if we go
Internet
C3
stud?
first and then.
No.
Oh,
I just wanna go see
come on.
I'm good with
Yeah.
going to see
Internet stud. Apparently, you've never seen me.
You guys good with C3?
Yeah,
C3PO.
I'm fine with it.
I mean,
Last one was.
I'd rather use C4, but
I see 3 and C3.
I see 3PO.
I see.
Joke race.
I see Pete.
Bad joke race.
I said I already beat him to it. I said the last one was May D4s be with you. This one's C3PO.
Let's see if we can turn every square into a Star Wars reference.
Don't tempt me.
Pretty easy.
Challenge accepted. A1.
Steak sauce.
That's not a Star Wars
So,
reference.
No,
this
but
section
it's
of the map is
delicious.
surrounded by a ravine to the west, a lava lake to the northwest. Wait, northeast. Excuse me. It's mostly rocky, flat terrain. Perception, investigation, whatever you guys want.
With advantage still? Going slow?
Yep, you're going slow.
What's his
26.
You
You
roll
roll
2d20.
2d20, take the best result.
20.
Oh, I got a nat 20.
Nice.
21.
Nice.
26.
23.
Twin 26s.
So, you're moving through this area.
4 total.
Yeah, roll 2 natural.
You're moving through this area, and
Yeah.
there's a lava lake to the northeast,
Master
and
back
there's a ravine to the
G0A1.
West.
Did you know that?
As you move through the area, it's easy to see that there are flesh eater tracks. But you don't follow any. You don't find any flesh eaters. They're just tracks.
Are there hair in these tracks?
No. You guys want to see where they lead?
Yeah.
Make a survival check, someone, or all of you.
Danny? Natural 18? Sure.
Oh,
Probably plus 2 or
Sure.
so.
Yeah.
crit 20, 31.
19.
You said it's a
17.
survival check?
Yeah.
We are murdering
31.
these checks. I just want you to know that.
It's getting a lot of good
Yes,
rolls.
Oh, 8.
They head east.
And I'm dead.
The tracks head directly east. Or the tracks.
So
Let's go murder him.
Does a natural 1 in a
I
survival
think
check
that's the dragon.
lead to automatic death?
I can't
No.
see that
No,
going
it's
well.
not.
I just simply can't.
You can't find water to your mouth in your
I mean, we've handled bigger.
skin.
I can
You're,
see it going
you're
well.
carrying a water skin on you. You like dive starving.
And then, you know, we
we
kill this
in the middle of a
tree.
drinking
We
problem.
get there, we think it's going to be our friend, and then we just end up killing this great majestic beast that's been around forever.
Airplane's one of
You
my
told us
favorite
what
movies.
it said to you?
That's a
Yeah.
great
I say we go
I
see
think
the
this would be
dragon.
a good point to test the spear.
She said it to him.
That's a good
But,
point.
hey,
That motherfucker ain't going to know him.
My spear also said, no voice. And that's what I think she means. It's like there's no way for her to talk to it.
I think
That's,
I
I can
think
only
it was,
interpret what the spear
I
says.
think it was. I think he meant KNOW voice
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's what I
because
thought.
it
Yeah.
roared and then she said that.
Yeah,
It
she knows
roared,
the
and then
voice.
she said, "No voice."
So like
And
it's,
then what
it's
else-
somebody
Sound
that was
familiar.
around in
Yeah,
her
no
time.
voice, familiar voice, so.
So this dragon's older
This is
than
her
shit.
familiar.
That's maybe white. Maybe right.
White.
We may be.
WXIT.
False.
We're
All our
all
characters
albino.
are black.
That's true.
Except the one that's gray.
Except
She
the one that's
said-
great.
She said familiar voice. This is her familiar.
That's familiar.
Does that mean it's Donald's familiar? Let's go find your dragon!
I don't know if you guys know this, but Nima's actually albino, and he's chewing on Herbert's leg right now. I haven't told you this entire time.
We try not to see race.
He was wearing some makeup.
Sand.
I like the flavor you're bringing to Nima.
He likes the
Could've become my
flavor.
favorite cousin.
He likes the flavor of Herbert.
Herbert.
So D2?
I say
Let's
not D2,
D2.
and I would vote C4.
Where do the tracks lead?
C4.
Wait, C4 is going back this way.
Yep.
I'm sure the
That's
dragon
what they said they
knows
went east. Direct east.
where the boots and or belt and or similar wearable objects of thunder are.
Why? Every dragon we have met has tried to kill us. Why is this dragon any different?
My dragon.
I don't know if you guys know this, but we are playing Dungeons and
This one didn't come at us and try to kill us, though.
No.
Not dragon has.
This one flew away from us.
They don't try to
I
So
do
it's
know that
clearly-
Clint likes dragons.
I do like dragons.
And it's known by... It's an old, probably intelligent dragon.
Dragons do get smarter as they age.
The dragon's old as fuck. Like 2,000 years old.
That's what I said.
4,000 years old.
So we're going to D3, which is the same thing I say to my.
They get smarter, but at what rate? And at what is their?
Well, his dragons, Smoog and Hargar started out at 4. I think they're at like 7 now.
7 what?
Intelligence, wisdom.
Oh, that's it.
They are.
So this one's roughly around 38.
They're almost an average.
Mine are a 7.
1 per
Yeah.
week.
Smoog and Hargar are as smart as a human child.
That's not saying much.
They're very wise, though.
Probably knows a
child?
lot.
What is this?
Does anybody have any children here?
Apple whiskey.
D2?
But how? I say not.
I say
D2.
Not that are mine, but you know.
Why they? What do you think? The dragon-
Don was trying to show restraint and not, letting everyone else take charge. And
That's good.
I tell Don I wouldn't blame
The
him.
children on
I
the
think that's a
stairs or
good
the people
point
on
to
the
test
stairs?
the spear, because I think you can take the dragon either way.
Well, that
Yeah.
movie. Isn't there a movie called
I-
The People Under the
All I'm
Stairs?
saying is we're
Not
here
a
for a
big horror
thing.
fan,
We're supposed to
I
be
hate
tracking.
say it.
Well, there's the children.
I'm sure the
of
dragon.
Corn.
If
We're
we
tracking
can-
people leaders.
But if we can talk to the dragon,
Not
I'm sure the
dragons.
dragon knows where it is.
Who's to say we can talk to the dragon? We can't even talk to the people in this
Probably
area.
people that know that.
Yeah, but it's an intelligent dragon.
How many? Where did it pick up language? Who is it talking to? Where did it pick up language?
I don't know. It could have talked to someone the last fucking 4,000 years.
Just because a dolphin's smart doesn't mean it knows how to talk. It's a different species.
I love
But if it's a dolphin that gets smarter as it ages,
And we
it's
know
like
dragons get
5,000,
smarter.
6,000.
The older they get,
7,000
we know
years
that.
old.
But where would it pick
What's
up
the rate
language?
at which it gets
It
smarter?
lives in an area where people
It
don't
might-
even speak.
It might not be able to talk, but it might be able to understand. At least, even if it's emotive expression.
Show your foot.
If
Yeah,
it's
you
this
can't-
old,
Carrick Mono
Slap
said
its tail on there.
how long have the
Water.
gods been dead?
4,000 years.
4,000 years.
Carrick
Basically,
Mono
4,000
did say
years.
to Karnan that dragons seem to respond better to language spoken by the giants.
Correct.
And we can speak giant.
That's why I
we
speak
can.
giant.
You can also speak
Yeah,
giant.
all of us can.
Can I?
Yep.
Maybe
Yes.
not you.
It says Gaian.
You know Gaian.
Okay.
Good talk.
You're so glad you invited me.
I am. So where do you guys want to
If
go?
everybody wants to go see the dragon, we can go see the goddamn dragon.
Wow, now we're gonna be insulted.
I just
But when
Come
we
on.
have to fight it, I'm gonna laugh.
It's
I just want to know if
It's
there's a dungeon under it.
good.
And there probably is.
I hope so.
It probably has a
whole
lair.
point of the game.
I think assuming it's going to kill us is
Actually,
a little
it's
racist.
Not bad.
I just want to be a friend. Let's just be friends.
It's pretty good.
That's
Hey,
that's
that
your
looks like
classic
that thing.
trap.
That's a prejudice right there.
Classic trap.
Actually, that's a wyvern. Notice the stinger on its tail.
It doesn't have any forelimbs
Pepsi.
either, guys.
It's green apple, I think.
Yeah, get a better mini.
I think it just said apple. Did you say green apple?
I have like 30 fucking dragons over
Happy
there.
apple.
That is what he looks like.
There you go.
We're going
Doesn't have four
D3
limbs, it has
D3?
or D2, whatever we say.
D2,
Does it taste like
D2,
green?
D2 or D3?
Where
Does
is
it
D2.
taste green?
What
Yeah,
color?
straight at the dragon.
Does it taste green?
He wants us to go D3,
does.
so we're gonna go D3.
I mean, you don't have to.
He said he whispered it at me.
I didn't do anything like that.
Tastes
He
fine.
didn't do that, but I have a feeling.
Wherever you move, Andrew, that's where we're going.
Oh,
You're in control now, buddy.
Do we need all three of them?
Whoa! Hey, whoa!
We fast travel.
Maybe if we go into the lava, there'll be a lava tube.
it reminds me
We
a
can
little
ride a
bit
boat.
of Crown Royal.
D2 or D3?
But
D3.
I think the Crown Royal is a little bit more sweet.
thought we were headed for the dragon.
Almost overdone. It tastes like Jolly.
I don't trust
Rancher.
Clint.
That's-
Oh!
Yeah, you know what? It does
I don't
taste
know what
like
I want
Jolly
to
Rancher.
do. You ruined it. I have too much power. Don't give this to me.
We're already going to the dragon. Can't we just
D2 or D3? D2?
Clinton said D3.
I did not.
Karn, I'm gonna let
I don't
Karn
think we
make
can
the
make a
final
Star
call.
Wars joke.
What the
with
fuck?
either of
Why
them,
me?
so it doesn't bother me.
Because Don was trying to stay back on this
D2 or
one.
D3?
No, dude, I trust you.
make the call, dragon boy?
D2.
D2? We're going D2.
R2,
Holy
D2.
fuck,
Son of a
boys, no!
Oh fuck, boys.
And we've been here.
I get nothing.
I got it. I got it.
All right.
What are we trying to do? Make a platypus? Or
We're drawing a
This
dick.
section of the
I
area
tried
has
to
a little bit of
by
elevation,
mating
but
a
mostly
duck
because
and
it's composed of miles and miles of large hills. The hills are interesting because they're kind of black and sand-like, rather than rocky or hard and brown like the earth around them. It's not black sand-like stuff like that's like the kind that's produced by the tea. Studying the Scarlet Cutlass. It's more like tiny, roughly squarish black material.
You can find a
Yeah,
time crab.
it's more like a like little tiny matte black squares.
Wombat poop?
No,
Wombats poop
so
squares.
you know,
Look it up.
That's awesome.
So it's
I want a wombat now.
I feel like it's not true.
Look it up.
So if you guys want to investigate, make some perception checks, go right ahead.
Poop square. I don't know what it is.
Perception, like advantage.
I tried
perception.
to
You guys still have advantage on everything because you're moving slow.
23.
investigate. I mean, you said these are
18.
squares, so
Still
I'm
20.
assuming
I rolled
they're
two
actually
sixes.
cubes.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yes,
Natural
sorry.
20. 26.
Well, because yeah,
Fucking shit.
18.
It's
I had 23.
it's called.
Okay. So yeah, you guys are all over the place.
Shit.
natural
So
square.
you journey through the area, and it's easy to see that it's pretty uninhabited. There are no husk, animal, or flesh-eater tracks in the Black Hills. As you walk, you realize it's slightly cooler here than in the other sections of the area that you've wandered through. Not like a comfortable 60 or 70 degrees, but like more like it's 110 rather than 120.
You could build a house.
Have any of you guys picked up the black sand stuff?
I would assume maybe we let it run through our
Okay.
fingers and our toes.
It's cool. It's cool. Not like cold. It's just like it's not hot. And you notice that when you're like standing on the rocky earth, and when you're in the black sand hills, it's cooler in the hills than it is in the black or in the rocky desert earth.
Are they sharp to the
They're
touch?
they're perfect cubes.
Are they sharp to the touch?
I mean,
Do they have like hard
The
edges?
corners?
the edges are hard.
Are they sharp?
There are sharp corners.
Does it taste like anything?
Rubbing it against my flesh, that's not the only thing.
Are there large wombats?
That's all
There
right.
are no large wombats.
They're small cubes though.
They're small they're tiny little cubes. I mean, you could abrade your skin if you rub them all over it. There are corners and points.
Guys, we're done as adventurers. New skin scrub.
What kind of material are they made of?
I'm
I'm sure you said this
I've
already.
been
but
It's,
working on
black,
post-work
matte
on
black,
going into
little
glassworks.
Black?
That
we're
we're
calling
calling
it
that I
confused
cut them
with
into
black
dissolves into the glass and I melted
no
in
pause.
I'm gonna take
glassworks out
a
of it.
few.
That's a great idea.
Okay.
Just because.
Okay, that's fine.
We're calling it sand.
And it's it's colder. It's not cool. It's just not hot.
It's large grain
I'm gonna
sand.
just take a couple samples.
Artisanal.
It's hot. It's not hot, even though it's really hot where we are.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
It just feels
I'm
cooler.
gonna load
Is
some of it
black
up into like a
stone
barrel
known
or
to get
two.
hot?
No, black stone is actually cool to the touch, generally.
Do these black stones seem to be black stone?
I mean, they're matte black, much like black stone is.
Can I damage it with my weapon?
Do you try?
Do any
What do you do exactly?
I use my black stone weapon and I try to scrape it a little bit, see if it does any damage to it.
It's very tiny. There's a chance you'll cut yourself.
Why? Take the edge.
Oh yeah, there's no mark.
So it's black stone,
Yeah,
or it's
there's-
just black stone?
It could be both.
Could you guys cast any of your stupid studs into it?
Yeah. Try that one.
Kevin's got magic.
Stupid studs, I love it. Throw a fireball into it if everyone wants me to.
Use your spear. Just
It'll just absorb
toss
the
it up with your
magic.
spear. Your spear won't do anything to blackstone.
I can try
That's-
it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
And
No,
it's
it didn't.
black
All right,
stones.
she lights
It'll
up.
just
You
melt
bury
it up.
her in the black sand and doesn't melt it, doesn't make it turn into glass.
It's probably blackstone then.
I'm gonna take like a couple
So
of
it's
small
black
bags of this.
sand.
Does this look like
Black sand.
the same stuff than when we touched the blackstone pillar with it? When we were in Crank Manos, we touched one of the teeth to the bars, and it crumbled. Before we met Crank Manos, right after we got the dagger, we touched it to some blackstone, and it turned into sand. Does it look like that?
No,
same
no, it's
sand?
different from the sand left by the cutlass.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a couple of pouchfuls of this. Maybe say
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
We load up the
I'm
wagon.
gonna take any.
a
I'm gonna
cubic
take any
foot
like.
at
Okay.
least.
Yeah.
Pretty probably easy to measure out.
We get some glue. And
I don't know if this
inside
is
the
useful
wagon.
short for, but I'm sure it's useful for something.
Could be.
Anti-magic hourglasses. Just top of my head.
I write down where this location is.
We could make it
Yeah,
into a.
that's-
We could make it into a cream and rub it on ourselves and get magic resistance.
1 cube, 1 cubic foot black sand for skin scrub.
Anti-magic skin scrub.
What the fuck?
Anything in these hills besides sand.
Activated black stone.
You haven't found anything? Do you want to explore the rest of the hills?
Prevents
There's
magical
miles of
poisons.
them.
I suppose we probably should.
Okay. Which square do you want to move?
Maybe D3.
Do you want to move into D3?
That's where the rest of the hills are.
Okay.
You want?
Wherever you guys want to go.
I think we should
My
finish the
fiance
hills.
never wants
Let's
to
finish
move
the
to
hills.
D3.
He wants us to go to D3 shop.
Do I?
I mean, it was between D3 and D2 last time. It would make sense to me to go.
I want so many things. There's so many things I want.
We can get to the dragon still. The dragon's not going anywhere.
There's probably a battle in like D3. He didn't want us to go through without.
Or maybe that's what the artifact is, and he's done with this encounter.
Because then it kind of feels pointless designing like the system if like we never get in a fight in it.
We're going to D3.
Okay.
Cal decided. Okay. I'm on board.
Executive decision.
D2 or D3?
D3.
Who appointed you
D3?
chief executive?
I have the.
That's E3.
No, that's E3. Yes. I can do things.
Here's the beggar.
All right. D2.
D3.
D3.
Oh my god.
I thought we were already. No, we weren't.
Yeah, we were in D2. Now
All
we're in
right.
D3.
So
Okay.
perception and everything.
Percept.
Perceive.
25.
Natural 20, 27.
17.
26.
21%.
21,
Is there a... I
20.
I had 17.
16.
Is there anything I need
Damn, we
to
don't killed her.
not go to the bathroom for here?
Yeah, he's fine. Go for it.
Andrew just ran his way.
You just ran away.
You stand up. You're like, we're in battle.
So you guys journey through the area. And just like the D2, it's uninhabited. It's just hills of that black stone sand, or whatever you want to call it. So you're journeying through the piles of black sand, and you almost miss it, but you think a little bit south of you, in this same section of the map, but a little bit south of you, you see like a disturbance in the sand, like something's disturbing in the sand, like rustling it.
Is it as if like 3 million souls cried out?
And it repeats, and it repeats, and it repeats.
Okay.
And it repeats.
Well, let's check that out.
It's kind of cool.
Take me there.
So would it?
Yeah.
Does it
Can
stop
can
or
I
is it
use
just
a,
continuing?
No, it just continues. There's just a little disturbance.
Like it's in a
the sand.
circle?
Does it
Can
seem...
I use a survival check to perceive if maybe it looks like a
Burrowing
giant
dragon?
snake or a burrow?
Sure.
I want to do some type of check to see if it's
19
natural.
plus 14 math. Don't fail me now.
33.
33, thank you.
You don't really feel like the disturbance in the sand is indicative of any sort of natural creature that you're familiar with.
It's not
I really don't feel that the disturbance in the sand is indicative of any natural
There's a
creature.
disturbance in the sand.
It's just probably waves of emotions
Yes, waves of emotions.
instead of a glass cage.
Anger leads to hate.
With a glass cage of emotions.
So you guys approach it.
Approach.
Okay. You see a little clearing of sorts in the hills. Like you can see, like there are the hills, and they kind of go in. So and you see the rocky desert floor, and there's this obelisk of black stone there.
Yes.
And surrounding the obelisk are these two large black stone rings, kind of not connected to it physically, but they're just rotating around it. And that's what's disturbing the sand. The obelisk is like 40 feet tall. It's made of black stone. It's got these thick bands of like silver set into the stone surface of it. The two rings of black stone are maybe 60 feet in diameter. They also have rings of like bands of silver going around them. And they're kind of spinning slowly. Each of the rings is maybe like a foot wide, a couple inches thick. And they're moving so slowly, like that's why they're moving very slow, so it's not like they're kicking up like tons of sand, which is why you didn't notice them from way off. The silver bands on the obelisk and the rings kind of glows with a very faint flickering light. It's mainly blue in color when it flicks on.
Okay.
But on the eastern edge of the rings and the obelisk, when it flickers on, it's red. And it'll stay on for like half a second, and then it'll flick off for like a couple seconds, and then it'll flick on for a few seconds and flick off. And
Is it only flick on and off in the same spots?
It's either lit or unlit. The silver bands are either lit or unlit.
So it's not like a determined.
It's not like Christmas lights like that are in a sequence like going on.
I
and
thought
off.
maybe like the things were turning. Okay.
So Chase, there's an obelisk that's about 40 feet tall. It's made of black stone. It's got silver bands on it. It's got two 60-foot wide rings of black stone circling it, rotating. No obvious connection between, like no physical connection between the rings and the obelisk. The rings have bands of silver set into their surface. The silver flickers with a light, and it's mostly blue in color, except for the eastern edge of the obelisk and the rings. Then on that end, it's red.
So we should head east.
It's a giant brushless motor.
I mean, it would almost have to be.
generating electricity.
Yeah, it's gotta be that. It powers the volcano.
Probably.
And there's sand down there at the bottom of it.
Yeah, it's kind of like the rings have kind of pushed most of the sand away, but like they're still kind of like dipping into it and disturbing it.
So it's like an obelisk, right?
Yeah.
And they're going. This is like a circle, and it just kind of goes around it like this.
I think it's a circle around the obelisk. That
Or is it?
Circle
Or is it
around
the
that.
obelisk is in the center,
Yeah.
Obelisk is in the center.
and they kind of just spin.
Yeah, they just kind of rotate.
Are the rings like up vertically
Nope,
or are they
horizontal.
Horizontal.
It's like a solenoid.
Sure. Yeah.
I think we're on the same page here. I think everyone else is like, brushless motor.
No, it's like obelisk ring.
Yep. That's
Not-
It's a special.
Ring.
Also, it's an important. I mean, I don't know how much science is actually in D&D. So
little to none. Little to none.
exactly.
50-foot tall dragon that can somehow fly.
Yeah.
Science that.
I mean,
Oliver.
bees can fly though.
100-foot wingspan.
It's true. They can.
Bees. How do they?
And,
do it?
A plane where you get up on its back legs. How tall would a plane be?
Good question.
What do you guys want to do? Anything?
Go touch it.
It uses
What part do you
photon
touch?
for turbulence.
The ring.
The silver.
Which part of the ring? The silver?
silver.
It's silver, I guess.
Is it lit or unlit?
Lit.
Is it red or blue?
Blue.
Okay.
You die.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Super good at those.
It's good.
That wasn't a roll. I dropped my die. The first one was a roll. I lied. It's gonna be roughly like 7, I think.
Okay. So Turok walks up
6.
and he touches the ring. The ring, right?
Yeah, the ring.
And he reaches out, and when the silver bands around the ring flicker blue, he touches them.
My precious.
A bolt of white energy arcs out of the silver on the ring, and it flings him 30 feet up into the air.
Catch me! Catch me!
It's a motor.
You're a pretty big dude. I mean, it's gonna be hard to catch you.
When he hits the ground, he is unconscious and a little bit on fire.
Just a bit.
Put me out.
Yeah, I put him on as best I can.
Well, let me rephrase that.
Like stop.
When you're launched into the air, the arc of white energy reduces you to 0 hit points.
Great.
When you hit the ground, you are on fire, take bludgeoning damage from the fall, and then you have 1 failed death save. Save me!
Yeah, run, try to put him out.
Those of you that are conscious, you can see that the flickering light on the rings and the obelisk starts staying off for longer periods of time. And when it does flicker on, it's red in color everywhere, instead of just on the eastern edge.
I broke
Are
it.
the rings now
So,
rotating in a slower
You discharged
No.
it.
This is good.
Or it's
We'll touch
shorted
it
it
again.
out.
Also a possibility.
Because Neem was
I'd like to
pretty-
perform a medicine
understands
check.
By all
way too
means.
much about electricity.
Yeah.
It's a natural
Kanathar
one.
with an intelligence of 10 is practically a mathematician.
Somebody save me!
It's
I'm
not.
dying out here.
A healing dagger.
Neem has just finished his electrician's.
I step forward and I produce a small dagger. No,
It's time to get a-
No, I'm gonna
get one of those
healing word.
bucket puzzles where you're given 2 buckets, right, and you have to make it 3 volumes.
Do I live?
And then I
With
did
the
out
stud,
all the math
not the dagger.
for
But I'm gonna make it
which
look
bucket
like I did it
problems
with the
you
dagger.
could make that are- you could actually
Everything works fine.
successfully, like,
What's that?
Everything works
Yeah.
fine.
Everything's fine. Okay.
Give me
I'm
HP.
gonna
It's
try to explain it to Kyle. with
Give me HP.
an average amount of success.
3 plus 2, 5 HP.
I will accept 5.
Do you want to use second wind?
I would love to use second wind.
Okay, go ahead and use second wind. You guys haven't been detected yet, so you're fine. You'll be at max hit points at the end of the day.
Okay.
Neem is going to start screaming.
So, are we going to E4 or E3 or E2 next?
Yeah, where are you guys going?
If we go to E4, then we can double back and get all the squares.
Are we gonna mess around with this again? Or are we just gonna leave it?
Yeah, do you guys want to touch it again? Do you want to wait a few hours?
Does anyone want to lick it?
Someone besides me should touch it when it's red.
Taste tangy.
Oh, I'm not touching it.
Does anyone want to touch the silver bands when they're glowing red?
Come on.
Yes, I'll do it.
You'll do it?
I do not want to do it.
Okay. So Uriel walks up
Ah, fuck.
and he waits till one of the silver. Are you touching the obelisk or the rings? He touched the rings when they
I'll
were
touch
blue.
the ring when it's red.
You
What
touched
was
the
it you said before?
We all had full hit points before.
Yeah, you're all full hit points.
Every day we get full hit points.
So make a Constitution saving throw.
It's not going to be true anymore in a second.
Oh!
It's gonna be like 6 again. I'm sure of it.
13.
13. Okay.
What? I had a 4, but I have a +9.
Oh, I didn't do my save.
Okay, that's a failure.
So do I.
My save would have been better.
So white energy blasts you 20 feet into the air.
Oh, okay.
Did he?
Oh!
Oh.
When you hit the ground, you are unconscious, smoking, and have 0 hit points.
It's
What was that you said about?
No, he was on fire a little bit, and he had a death save.
He got launched 30 feet.
So did
I only
he?
launched
He
20.
got launched higher.
So if you're gonna touch
Being
it, touch it
heavier.
when it's red.
Yes, he also took more damage.
That makes sense.
So you're just at 0 hit points. And then the lights just stop flickering.
What was it you said about everybody having full?
What do you mean they
hit
stop flickering? Like,
points? That's not-
They just turn off.
Cure wounds.
And the rings stop.
Okay, I'll touch it while they're off.
wait.
The blackstone is cool to the touch, as is the metal.
Can anyone lightning bolt this shit or something? See if we can get a jump started.
Do
We
we
don't
want
have
that?
lightning. We have
I
fire.
have fireball.
You know, I can't tell. I'm
Fireball.
dead still.
I'm gonna cure wounds.
Okay.
Oh, are we supposed to
dying.
heal?
As long as I don't pass out from trying to cure
Help.
wounds.
Okay.
I don't know how
everything's
this
fine.
works anymore. Am I supposed to heal the guy that's almost dead?
No.
3
Oh.
plus-
Someone else will handle it.
I print something like that. I'll show you upstairs.
You also get 5 HP.
Oh, okay.
All right.
But you do it second
You
wave.
can play Smash.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll show you what I did.
I'm not gonna touch
I'm gonna
anything
buy a
else.
few more cons.
What if a bird lands on you?
What if a
For 5
bird? What if a bird looks at you?
No, I have
A baby looked at you?
85.
All right.
1d10 of fear.
Now what do you guys want to do?
So does the obelisk still light up on the east?
No, it's unlit.
Would you say
It's
this
all
is
layers,
a
not
natural
moving.
structure?
No.
You mean like did erosion cause this? No, just-
Because I do have excellent memory for maps and geography. I was just wondering.
How large?
Well, geography
is this?
The obelisk is about 40 feet tall. The rings are about 60 foot
Places.
So it'd
diameter.
be pointless to spend time to try to clear Blackstone sand away.
Yeah, I paid I think I paid 85 for this.
You are
I'm on-
you are
I'm
a
for moving
modern
on.
thinker.
Okay. No, I'm into that.
All right. Where do you guys go?
I guess
Do we want to do
E2.
Yeah.
D2 or do we want to
No,
do D4?
We should go E2
Or sorry, E4 or E2?
E3 phone home.
E1,
E3 maybe
E2.
because that would be the end of the hills and we would see out the
Well,
hills.
then, what about E4?
We never finish anything.
What about E4? What if it's in E4?
Yeah,
We're
we'll
gonna come
never
back.
go back to E4 if we don't go.
If
now.
it's an E4,
You know, we could come back around if we go. Okay,
We could.
let's go
Yeah, I
E3.
guess we
I'll
could.
swallow it.
Yeah.
Down.
Yeah.
There's no
E3
way
or
it's an
E2?
E4.
Where are you guys going?
E3?
E3.
E3? Okay, you go south.
check out some new games.
Electronics Entertainment Expo.
Chase pushes out.
That was low effort.
Sony's not going to be there next year.
At E3.
No, because
Yeah.
they blew everything up with this last one. They just blew their load on everything with this last E3.
Sony?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
They announced Tomb Raider, Kingdom Hearts. There was like 6 or 7 that they did.
Last of Us.
What are we doing?
Yeah,
E3?
much more.
E3PO.
E3.
Make checks.
Yep.
Perceptions.
Perception.
We're on E2.
This is the same type of area as D2 and 3.
25.
27.
24, I think.
You guys don't find anything. It's just more hills.
23.
No sign of animals, no sign of husks, no sign of flesh eaters, no
Even
sign
though-
of naturally occurring
Please.
zapped obelisks.
Even though we didn't find anything, I'm glad we saw out the hills, guys.
Alright, we
I think we're stronger as a group for the hills. And we know where that big thing is. Alright.
This area is extremely barren and very flat. To the west, no, yeah, to the west is a small mountain. And to the north and east are miles and miles of black sand hills. Perception
23.
23. Anyone
Also
else?
23. Wow.
23. Anyone else?
28.
28.
25.
25.
25.
Okay. As you move through the area, you see a dead megascorpion. Its carapace is torn open by large claws and teeth. You also see a couple small groups of flesh eaters. They're dead. They look like scout parties. They have bows and spears and such. Scattered around them are arrows that look like they were shot up into the air and fell to the earth. They have like broken stone points and stuff. the flesh eater corpses look like they're about a week old. To the south, miles up in the air over section E1, you see a small shape flying through the air. Looks like a winged dragon, but you're miles and miles away.
Would it be the same dragon we saw earlier?
Yeah. Yeah, it would. Definitely. 100%.
Are the arrows fletched with gray hair?
No. The arrows are not
gray hair arrows.
How was the scorpion killed?
Large claws.
Claws belong to a 50
I'm going
to
to
60
put a chalk line around the scorpion and try to figure out this mystery.
Does the dragon have large talons?
Yeah, large talons.
Do dragons have large talons?
Yes, they do. They do have large talons. Actually, Karnan, make a perception check on one of these flesh eater corpses.
With advantage?
These flesh eaters were
Sure.
killed.
19.
As you guys are looking at these dead flesh eaters with like the arrows and stuff, Karnan, you notice one that's got the injury is like, we'll say a stinger from a 50-foot tall dragon on it. We'll say it's about that big.
A stinger?
So it's like a fist punched
it's got a wound channel as if a dragon with a 50-foot tall dragon with a stinger stabbed him. And the injury is like as if, you know. And the skin is all like reddened and blackening, which you know is a sure sign of dragon venom
Did
poison.
you say 50, like 50?
Yeah, like a 50-foot tall dragon, like with a stinger, attacked him.
Yeah, 100-foot wingspan.
So
Way bigger than 49 foot.
And put a hole in his arm or his chest. Maybe depending.
Kind of.
Doesn't really matter. He's dead.
So kind of crazy that dragon over there is
would I know
weird
how old a dragon that would be 50 foot tall could possibly be?
You have never, in all your research, you have never heard of a winged dragon getting that big.
Hey,
serious
so
radiation.
That's a big ass dragon.
Guys,
Have I ever heard of a dragon so smart that it could craft its own wings?
based on the size
Is
of
his
that,
character high?
Yeah.
based on the size of that hole, that was probably a dragon that was about 50 foot tall.
Speaking of which, I made you a very crude glass ball.
I just got 13 on history
Barely
on
functions.
dragons.
Yeah,
It's crudely penis-shaped, but
there are dragons.
Sweet.
They,
write that down.
they keep
They're
growing as they
dragons.
age. The older they are, the bigger they tend to be. You know, they're pretty
I'm not
smart.
proficient with glass blowers tools yet.
Pretty smart.
No one trains them because they're assholes, and it would be completely stupid to try and train dragons.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
What if there were a book that was written about training dragons?
Well,
But I could call
Possibly
How to
3
Yeah.
children's movies.
I don't
Way
know.
too many and some Netflix films.
Well, sometimes
And a spin-off series.
people in parties do things that normal people wouldn't do, like
Try to train
collect
dragons.
the bones of dead gods
Yeah.
or train
That-
dragons.
Hey, we're talking about dragons here. Let's not bring the bones of dead gods into this.
So
By the bones of Saint Andrew.
So you said 50 feet.
The bones of Saint Andal.
That's like 5 stories tall.
By the bones of Saint Andal, that's a big dragon.
So is there anything else around that maybe gives me the impression there was a 50-foot dragon around here?
You saw one fly and land on that mountain and you
Yeah,
won.
we saw it, dude.
You guys saw it over in the caldera.
Remembering back, did it have a stinger?
Yes.
What evidence
Okay.
is there that there's a 50-foot dragon?
The one we saw!
Dragon you saw.
What? That mountain over there.
50-foot dragon?
Guys, I think there's 2 50-foot dragons.
The one we saw 5 days ago.
Is there any really large piles of shit?
Yes.
Multiple.
Hey,
I'm gonna put my hand in there just like
Just
the
see what it's
woman
been-
from
See
Jurassic
what it's
Park.
been eating?
Amazing.
Elderberries. Those are poisonous to dragons.
So that's
mother
what's
smells of elderberry.
that's what's in
Yeah, the doctor tells you to stop
E2. Where do you
touching
guys
it.
want to go next?
I would
Mother
assume
was a
E1.
you
E1?
wanted to smell
Okay.
What it is.
Or we could go
I
straight
was
to
implying that
D1 and just skip the dragon.
That's an option.
When I enter the square, I say,
Your mother's a hamster and your father's
What?
smell of elderberries.
You know,
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, friend.
speak friend and
Oh, yes.
get along.
All right.
Alright, you won.
I wore that one out last session with the door that took midnight to open.
Thanks for straightening that up, Andrew.
well, we've searched a good bit of the map
So-
and found exactly nothing. So
Is this
Yeah, it's
guy,
been 12 days.
We haven't found anything.
we are fucking it up.
dangerous either.
Well, yeah, it's
Ooh, 17%. That was a close one.
Oh, I forgot. Storms.
But it's a 5% chance. But are they going to come in our direction?
Maybe there are tables for that.
Okay.
He's got a whole weather chart.
I got a whole weather table.
Technically, rolling a d20 and getting a 1 on it is a 5% chance.
Yes.
Too.
Yeah. Or in his case, a 20.
Yeah.
Wait,
So this
or
area,
any specific
E1 is dominated by a small mountain. It's not super tall, and the slope isn't super steep. You could scale it to investigate the area if you wanted.
Does it look like a dragon might live at the top?
It's hard to say.
I
Can
turn
we
on my
see a
spear.
dragon fly to the
Yeah.
top?
boy.
I turn on my spear and I try to ask the spear, how do I speak to this thing?
Speak French.
Like, I know this is your ally.
Words.
How do I let that know?
She says words.
I'm sure we speak the same language from 4,000 years ago.
Use
Yes.
Giant?
Giant.
Giant? Do I use giant?
Yes.
Yeah.
fucking speak giant.
Okay.
That's
I
what
talked
she
to
says.
my
Yes, giant. Yes, giant. Speak.
Thank you, my queen. I say, thank you, my queen. Now rest. Instead of just turning her off, I say, now rest.
Okay.
And then I turn her.
Okay.
She stayed on.
Classy. Respectful. That's good. So, you guys want to investigate the area with perception?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
27.
27.
Wait.
That's
19.
high enough. That's
No,
all I
20.
need. That's all I need. 27.
Yeah.
You investigate the area and you notice that you find absolutely no sign of flesh eaters or desert beasts. Karnan, make an insight check on Smooth and Hargar.
I don't know if I want to. I'm gonna say I don't have advantage on that.
Oh, you want to.
Yeah, so
If we do end up
like
having to fight it and kill it,
that's
you
a
got
10.
another
It's also good.
gift for your
They're not dogs, so it's not like they're whining and holding their tail between their legs, but they're definitely a little more subdued and cautious than
they're
normal.
not all cool about this guy.
They are not cool about this area.
They're not relaxing, maxing all cool.
Because it smells like a
I'd
4,000-year-old
toss him
dragon.
like
people.
toss him
They're
some
not
meat.
fleeing or anything, but they're definitely like
Right.
freaked out by
So
being in
we're
this
up to no
area.
good.
Well, I toss him some meat.
Okay.
You know, tell him what's up. You know,
Started making
say it'll be all good. You know,
E1.
I guess.
because I talked
Make a
In the
persuasion check
neighborhood of
for me.
E1.
because I talked to him. Persuasion, like maybe not something that I'm better. 16, we'll take it.
Okay.
That was persuasive as fuck.
He's training his
He just
dragon.
convinced the dragon to be friends with you guys.
Oh, okay.
Who did?
You did.
They weren't up until this point.
Who did it?
All
Wait,
of you
the
were
dragons?
in grave
The dragon.
All three of them.
I'll never tell.
Because, yeah, I thought I'm so fucking...
Tricks are for
I'm,
kids.
I'm joking around. That's what's happening. All right,
I was confused too. I
You've
don't know
increased
what
pack.
Hey,
The secret is
That's
this,
what happens?
this is really 2 dragons and a giant
His
trench
dragons
coat.
have different stats.
The
that
dragons have
actions he
3
takes-
stats.
They're using a couple of brooms.
The dragons have 3 stats: predator, pack, and prey. Predator is how badass they are. Prey is how much of a little bitch they are, and pack is how they feel about him.
I gotcha.
so
And each one, like
My
as it goes
dragons
up,
ain't no
has various
prey.
stats that it modifies.
my decisions make it happen.
Yes. Like every
You gotta beat him up.
So you're like Owen Gray.
They respect
You're like,
strength.
My dragons ain't no bitches.
yeah.
He's aiming for like the pack predator thing.
Yeah, you gotta have
No
them listen,
prey.
but you know they got
So,
to be badass.
all right.
Do we have
and
a
that way
fucking
they can
plan
see
before we run
heat
into this
vision
dragon?
and-
Right.
Try to talk to it? We're gonna try to talk to this thing, right?
Just show it your spear and be like,
Right.
hey, this is the goddess
Yeah, I will.
So
of summer.
you guys
And then
explore the mountain,
Okay.
and after several
And we
hours,
get
you know,
deer.
you're halfway up the side of it. The slope isn't extreme. It's not terribly difficult to ascend. It helps that it's all solid. It's rocky, but it's sturdy. It's not cracked and like tremoring.
Kind of just like the shits I took today.
Yep.
Solid.
You're starting to see large foot-long scratch marks on the rock, as well as like large scales on the ground, as if a dragon is rubbing up against the terrain, like scratching an itch, and scales are falling off.
Pick him up, pick him up.
Those
pick
are
'em up.
valuable. Yeah, pick them up.
The scales are large and dark greenish brown color, similar to the mother dragon, but they're not quite as big. And they're also like more. They're a little bit smaller, but they're also like thinner and more flexible than the mother dragons were.
So how big was the mother dragon?
She was 60 feet long.
So
Oh,
this
so
is.
this guy's
but-
smaller than that one.
10
But that
feet
dragon couldn't fly though.
in one area, then it's
Its
it's
wingspan.
40 feet longer in one direction.
Dude, but this one's 10 foot smaller. Don't worry.
Dude, this
In
would be
a
fine.
direction.
You'll be all right.
This is Dad Dragon.
You're not the one that has to try to talk to this
Daddy
motherfucker.
Dragon.
Yeah, this is
Well, we got your back, dude.
And it's obvious that they're dragon skills, of course.
He's got.
He's not even gonna be able to kill it because she'll get pissed at him.
Yeah, dude, it'll be alright. Just don't worry about it.
Imagine this goes sour. He's no help.
Trying not to, then we're
You find
All
11
day
like good
Dragon
quality
Factory
dragon
and he's
skills.
had enough.
Cool.
Yeah,
These will go for about 2 gold in the.
Did you
among
say
the desert
11?
tribes.
Did we sell the last dragon skills?
No, you haven't been anywhere.
we have 26 dragon scales, so we got another 11.
Yeah, but they're different. They're higher quality, so they could sell it for about 4 gold in among the desert tribes.
Okay.
11D.
So, do you guys continue up the mountain?
Sure.
Nice. Perception.
Uh,
22.
32.
Okay, all right.
16.
As you journey up the mountain, you see a large winged shape leave up ahead, like about a half an hour up ahead. Like it exits a cave, like in the side of the mountain. And
Let's
it's,
say it's about 50 foot tall.
it's about 50 foot tall.
Stinger.
Yeah, that's the one.
Stinger, definitely a stinger. She ignites again and ally. She looks at him and says, "Ally."
How close is this?
He's about a half hour up the slope. That's where his cave is.
Catch fireball.
And he's
Use
flying.
ascension.
I say
Just-
I'm trusting you, my queen.
Just an
And we
idea.
keep going. And
You feel a sense of her being pleased.
I don't turn her off.
Okay.
I think we should not be
You
in his
think
cave
you
when he
know.
gets back. Just
She's
an
just
idea.
not
I don't
into
turn her
you.
off, so every 6 seconds she goes up a damage tier. So now I'm dealing 12 d8 damage. In case I need it.
She's very bright. She
Just
also
never turn her off.
Yeah. She's shedding about 60 feet of
I'm
bright
sweating
light.
my ass off right now.
It's holding like a white phosphorus grenade in your hand as it goes off.
This is what having an actual lightsaber would feel like.
Not good.
Not good.
Yeah, we don't ever talk.
So, do you guys continue up the slope to the cave?
Yes.
Might
All right.
as well.
I hope so. I'm walking.
You continue up the mountain and you see more frequent signs of claws and scales and that sort of thing. I've already found you all the good scales you're gonna find. Smoog and Hart are very agitated. They are constantly like flicking their tongues out to taste the air. They're looking around, like giving everything the side eye because they have eyes on the side of their head.
Sarah Johnson.
Side-eye Johnson.
Do you try to calm them down, Carton, or what do you do?
I mean, they're not actively trying to flee.
No, they're not trying to flee. They're kind of like really like they're following kind of like on your boot heels almost. Like they're like using you as like interposing you between whatever they're afraid of.
They're man. Do I get the sense they're afraid of the dragon?
Yeah.
I would feel.
Well, no, it's
Is
not
it
the
everybody?
area. You said the area.
Yeah, but
Okay.
now that they've noticed, like now that they, you can put like, oh, the dragon's cave is here. Now I understand.
Okay.
Like maybe you had a suspicion earlier in the day, like it's probably the dragon, but now like you're 100%.
Imagine if you went to a mountain where a 40-foot human lived. You'd be a little nervous.
So unless Clint, unless they're
Men are all
actively trying to run away,
Both?
I proceed.
Okay.
I don't.
They're a married couple that lives
Maybe
on the
toss them
mountain.
some meat.
It's not one
Keep it coming.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll say yes for this story.
So
Let's see.
you find the cave. It's a big opening in the rock. It's
Right.
dark. There are claw marks. There's scales.
Writing this
It's
fanfiction now.
it's a quite large entrance, as if it was as if it was dug out of the earth by huge claws to, admit a 50-foot long dragon. And you can see like it doesn't go very far back in there. It's basically deep enough that it could like curl up in there.
Is there a treasure
Like a
hoard?
little kitty cat.
Do you guys go in to investigate?
So
I
when you
mean,
say 50
can we
feet,
just-
you mean
Can we just see it
50 feet?
Yeah.
from the entrance? Can we see anything?
If Domino puts his like spear in there and kind of shines it in there.
Yeah, sure.
I got a flashlight on a stick.
She told you anything lately?
If she told me anything.
So no.
No.
So you hold you kind of like lean in with the spear and illuminate the cave, and like I said, it's basically just big enough to fit the dragon, curl up and lay down. It's got kind of like a nest, which is kind of a large pile of like crushed bones. There's human bones, there's husk bones, there's animal bones, there's animal carapaces. There's some fur that's gray. Finally found some gray fur.
Aha! Fletcher arrows.
Hair or fur?
Yes.
Is that what you're using for?
One and the same.
So beyond the nest, and it's still kind of in shadows, you would have to actually, like, Domino, you would have to step in to fully illuminate it. There's kind of like a flat rock with what looks like a skull on it. Not.
So Domino, he like holds up a hand. He's looking at everyone's. I'm assuming looking with him. He yells into the cave in giant.
Oh boy.
Friends.
Okay. I mean, it echoes around the cave and bounces back out. It's not a huge cave.
Was the Dargon there, or was it outside?
The dragon's not in there right now.
Yeah, we can go explore the cave then. No,
Okay.
Don't want to explore the cave. No, Turek says no.
Why don't we
You
just
come home,
leave one of the
someone's-
people out?
You come home and someone's in your house, you feel pretty upset.
Let me rephrase
This
this.
is true, Turek.
Let me rephrase this. Do you extend the spear in such a way that it fully illuminates the skull on the
Do you
flat
notice
rock?
every mouse
That's
that's in your house?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that
So-
doable from like the entrance?
Yeah.
to the cave?
It's just a matter of like kind of like gesturing properly with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Canathar,
I mean, they could.
are you looking in the cave with everyone else?
If everyone else is, I mean.
I'm facing the other way. I don't like caves.
So
Yeah, that's
you're all
okay.
kind of standing at the cave entrance. Some of you are looking in, others are not. Domino's trying to aim the spear in such a way that it fully illuminates the back of the cave. There is a kind of rough, flat rock with some claw marks on it. On top of it is a crocodilian skull, similar to Eisman's head, but bare of flesh.
We're bringing this dragon straight. That's what I can tell from Kaifin's eyes.
It looks like it's as big as Eisman's head, maybe bigger. It's long crocodile jaws.
Who's the guy that fought Eisman?
The Scaled King.
The Scale King.
That's this guy.
It's not in great
Eisman's
shape.
like-
Like some of the teeth are missing. There are some blood stains on the bone, like
It was a
old
servant
stains
of
on the bone.
gods that could,
An
like,
interesting
see
thing about it
everything.
is that it has carvings on
He's
it.
their prophet.
Yeah, it
They're
betrayed them,
crude
so
looking, mostly
he's
symmetrical
permanently
swirls and
trapped
lines and that sort of
under,
thing.
like,
Nothing in any sort of like definite
huge
language,
boulder that's like crushing
Um,
him, but like he heals really
but
fast.
it's symbolism
He's
of
permanently
some kind.
healing and being crushed.
The
at
etchings are
same
crude and
time.
rough, almost like they were made with like a long, unwieldy bladed object rather than a chisel or knife.
Is this something that looks like it can be like donned, or it's not?
No, it's just a skull, like the top portion, and then the
It's
lower jaw.
gigantic though, right?
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
Yeah, we definitely couldn't wear this.
So Canathar,
Yes.
I mean, like
you
everything
see
else.
this large skull with crude etchings on it, and you feel the cloak of spring flexing along your shoulders and your back, and suddenly you're hit by like what feels like a bolt of lightning in your brain. Your vision is wiped away, and you're all of a sudden you're laying on the ground. You're wounded. You're staring up at a black sky, and there's lightning flaring and crashing, and you're dying. You feel your heart thudding in your chest, slowing down. Your blood is bleeding out of you. You're starting to feel cold. Your vision is weird. One of your eyes is like crusted shut with probably dried blood. Eisman crashes to the ground nearby. Your armor is a blasted rune. Your armor is blasted and ruined by the storm you called into being to smite him. Narlethonair lands atop him and begins stabbing at Eisman with his tail spike through holes you've torn in the adamant armor. Finding a larger hole, he begins tearing huge chunks of Eisman away with his jaws. Doing everything he can to keep Eisman down long enough for you to rise, but you can't. You're too wounded, your secondary heart is fried from the lightning, and your lungs are shredded. The storm battered you as much as it did Eisman, and you weren't wearing armor. And his venom courses through you like the fires of Okasa are filling your veins. There's a flash of light, white light, and Weenoth is there. And he kneels over you, his nostril slits flaring as he sighs. You feel the rough, pebbled flesh of his mangled hand, the one with only the thumb and the index finger and the middle finger, kind of wiping away all the blood and gunk on your eye, and you can see him, and your vision is kind of restored. And he tells you to rest now. Eisman will be punished, and the work will go on. And your main heart thuds to a stop, and your vision reverts to normal, and you're just staring at this giant crocodilian skull that you feel like was your skull.
Definitely tell the party what happened.
And my bow doesn't do anything? I'm really...
Your bow has the ancestral memories of all bows.
It's off in the corner.
It's really cool, okay? So, I let...
In the Avengers, you're Hawkeye. He's the really cool one that everyone can relate to.
If he discusses that,
I can do it.
I love Hawkeye.
then
Which I do.
I talk about my dream openly to the rest of the group.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Because so far I've only told Kandara.
Right.
So I tell you guys about the same thing that I saw, that three-figured creature.
Well, that's not creepy at all, guys.
Yeah.
So judging
Lots of
by
sea and shit.
putting the two dreams together,
What do
her
you
name's
expect
probably
when you have
Okasa.
Artifacts.
That's what it sounds like to me. The Fires of Okasa. Someone he probably knew, and you had the feeling that was probably your name.
Yep.
So that's probably your name. You can start calling her that whenever you want, weirdo. I don't like where this is going with you. But
Turok, I get it. I mean, I get it.
Are Herbert and Kandara and stuff here, or are they down at the wagons at the base of the mountain?
They're up here.
Okay.
Have we?
Okay.
Sure. Why not?
We haven't shown the skull lantern to the Horn Queen that I can remember. At all.
Like, officially, like, look at this. No, I don't think so.
Is that the skull inside that lantern thing?
It's a skull inside like a black stone like lantern.
And
I
that
think that was the campaign or
the three-fingered guy. That's the guy that made the bone weapons, right?
I'm thinking that's the lantern.
We not.
Yeah, he's
Weenoff
probably
is
lantern
lantern?
dude. If I had to guess,
But because we know that someone was, I think Weenoth was making the artifacts, but we know that the skull we found was in a very crude silver.
but that we thought was to hide its power from what we now know
But
as.
if he's making things into artifacts, he can't like take his skull off and then.
And if you remember, the skull had a singe mark along the bottom. The
had a
skull
singe mark, and it looked like something had grabbed the bottom of it to make the silver
The goblet, right?
Yeah.
goblet.
Did this guy breathe fire? Does he have hands?
We don't know.
If I get closer to the skull, do
It was
I
giant size too.
feel any sort of anything
think
with the skull, with the
you feel the cloak kind of like fluttering across your shoulders, like
in a positive or negative?
it's impossible to tell. It's a flap of skin.
Is it a happy fluttering?
I want to.
I've done some flaps. Of
It
skin
feels
that-
like it should be putting more into its 401k,
Pretty
but
happy.
it is what it is.
Should be putting more into its 401k.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. As long as somebody has it.
Does anything happen if I touch the cloak to the skull?
What part do you touch?
The part that
I would like to
makes
point
something
out
happen?
that you are deep in a dragon's lair right now. Just gonna point it out.
It's not a very deep layer in the first place, though.
Not gonna say that you shouldn't be there or
More than 50% of the way into the cave.
you are.
If not,
If the dragon comes
I was
home,
gonna
you
say-
are in the
Alright,
cave.
we're gonna take a break.
Just saying.
Break.
Later.
Alright, we're back.
I didn't play that
continue.
much.
Yeah, we played a
I'm
lot
listening.
last night. We played too much, probably.
So, what do you guys want to do? Kanathar,
Canthar.
you were about to play with the skull.
Oh, I'm still playing with this.
I'm gonna stay at the base of the cave, the entrance to the cave.
I'll stay with him.
And,
I
watch
just
for
want to
the dragon.
see if my cloak reacts more with the skull.
Do you pick up the skull?
It's a big ass skull, right?
Yeah.
Can I pick it up?
Yeah.
I was assuming this is like bigger than me.
That's not bigger than you.
Oh yeah, I pick it up, I guess.
Okay. You
I
pick
thought
up
the Eisman was huge.
tendrils of flesh, the kind that are burrowed into your skin,
The skulls.
start extruding from the cloak of spring.
What kind of tendrils are burrowed into
Oh,
my skin?
fuck.
Oh, from the
The cloak
okay.
extrudes like little muscular, like
Yeah.
pseudopod type things
Okay.
that bury themselves in the skin to attach to the cloak.
Like a symbiote.
It
Which
it
is
starts
what I was
extruding more of those, and they start walking down your arms towards the skull.
Let it do it.
Ooh. Shit.
I
You
guess
don't get
I
in
let it-
Then I'll be the
trouble.
only person being affected by God.
I
That's the worst
guess
thing
I
you
let
can
it
do right
happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That's
they,
consent. You said it.
You just realized.
I guess they let it
Just
happen.
realized it's happening.
what?
Nope.
You
Not
can
back.
change your mind during.
So
I
they
gotta
go down,
drink
so like
milk.
you're kind of
I
holding
can't
the
drink
skull like this, and they go down your arms, and the pseudopods wrap around the bone, and they start dragging it up. Like you're kind like they're exerting force now, and they're like kind of like compressing your arms and like dragging the skull up and kind of bringing it onto your head. So now you're kind of like holding the giant neck hole in the skull over your head.
Okay.
And they've kind of started to grow over the skull, and like they're kind of like a symbiote spreading across it, covering it in like muscular, ropey tendrils of flesh.
See, this is pretty cool, but I don't think Kanathar wants to do this.
Would you like to stop this
Are you
process?
tripping right now
Do it.
too?
Inject your.
Probably.
Have you done?
If you want to stop it, make a strength check. Make a strength saving throw.
I don't think I'm gonna stop it, but I'm gonna mentally think this is not good.
So you're not gonna stop it?
No.
Wow, I hate this.
I don't like this.
And just allow it.
Okay.
You're incredible.
So as you guys,
you're an absolute.
So you guys watch, and it's kind of like any of you want to stop this?
Hey, if people are going to be doing whatever they want.
I'm looking out at the horizon, not paying attention to what's going on.
It's a miracle this party made it.
We're in a dragon's cave, actively stealing something that it treasures, obviously.
So
the cloak wants this to happen, alright? What do I have?
I'll try to stop it. How about that?
Don't stop it.
No?
What method are you going to use?
I'm having a good time.
I am going to use my cool longbow.
To put an arrow through Kennethar.
No, I'm going to use
it
the
through his
strength to pull this. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Put it through his knee.
I have.
He's going to tie the string to the skull.
I notice I have a tool proficiency, but I'm not sure I own a skin flute.
I have one for you.
It is not. I don't know if that'll get the skull off. Maybe it will.
Might get
Something off. And we went dark.
Nah, it's cool. Nah, let's just let it happen. Let's see what's gonna happen.
Okay.
Looking at the horizon.
So there's a bunch of cracks, and like the skull is now almost completely covered by like a pseudopody, like ropey skin, and there's a bunch of cracks, and like it all comes apart. And it's now organized into this like there's like two halves of the skull, like the lower jaw and the upper head portion. Mm-hmm. Those are all covered with scales now. There are still teeth missing, and the bone is now like complete. Like the bone is still stained in bloody spots and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And it kind of like tears apart and kind of becomes shoulder pads, big, oversized, kind of like '80s shoulder pads covered in scales.
This was the correct thing to do.
So, I have some additional information for you. So now you got these big kind of like crocodile skull shoulder pads.
So you play football now.
You do play football now. You're very
First, you
butch.
do
It's
drugs,
like Talon
so
ball.
you're not going to play football for long.
It doesn't work.
He does drugs regularly. He's not going to play football for long.
You give your character just drugs regularly?
Yeah.
Yes.
He also takes injections from a
So,
mushroom.
the base
Yeah.
Well, then we were
AC
talking
of the
about
Cloak of
tracks
Spring
earlier.
Paper.
becomes
They
15.
can find him.
I have this. What?
The base AC of the Cloak of Spring becomes 15
Okay.
rather than 14.
Yeah. Yes.
And you now have +2 to all saving throws.
Yes.
And there's a couple secret things that you haven't discovered yet.
You can now fly.
I attempt to discover them.
Jump off. Jump off this cliff.
I'm aware.
Chase, jump off the cliff. Do it. Do it.
You can
Do
fly
it.
now.
You can fly now. You might have been able to fly before. No one's ever tried.
I'm going to attempt to jump
I
from
was
the
going to
ground
try. I was really close to jumping out of the ziggurat.
and
You
not
stopped
off
me.
a cliff. That's how you test if you can fly. You don't jump off a cliff. You
It's-
jump
It's
in
more
front of
wide. It's like
I'm kind of
you know, it's like Buzz Lightyear.
just letting this happen.
You gotta walk
Figure out
before you
what's
can
coming
run.
out of it.
It's just falling with style.
No, we did the math. If I would have jumped off the ziggurat, the damage would have been just enough to kill me, like, outright. When we first got
So
the skin,
was
he's
it
like,
worth it?
well, he's like,
Oh,
it
okay.
attaches. He's like, it attaches to your arms, and we thought it was like, you know, a flight suit or something, like from the description.
It could be still. We don't know. We didn't
try
have
it.
Tried?
We didn't try.
Well, we don't know because the skull could emit flame and cause
Thrust.
like jets.
Thrust, exactly.
It's Iron Man.
We did have the suit. The suit did belong to the Scale King.
Good thing that was empty.
Good thing.
Just like me.
Party foul.
Empty.
Yes.
Inside and out, or just
Dead on the inside.
Yeah, I'm very dead on the inside.
Quinn Stepping notes. We fucked everything up.
It's true. Alright.
We're not supposed to see the dragon yet.
So anyway.
Do I see the dragon on the horizon?
Oh yeah, it totally just lands.
where?
Tight.
In
on
the
top
horizon?
on top of
Sweet.
Turok. So
And his
the
shoulder pads, those are
so that's all going on the inside. Turok, you see a big 50-foot tall dragon kind of flying closer
Heading
and
this
closer.
way. Dragon's coming.
I'm still staring at the horizon.
Here comes the dragon.
So that's all going on, and
Everybody should probably get outside the house.
I'm staring into the sun, trying not to.
It's getting closer. It looks like it's gonna land like right on top of you.
I'm gonna move.
Okay, let's go.
It moves its trajectory.
It doesn't. It moves to land on the edge. So, do you teleport to it and like try and drag it into shadows or anything, or do you just let this happen?
I'm just gonna let it land.
Do you guys rush out or anything?
No.
I did yell dragon is coming.
My spear is still on. I want to stress that.
You have stressed that. I have noted it.
What are
Hang on, let me write it down.
what are Hargroove and
Hargar and Smook.
They pissed in your boots.
Smooth? No,
They're
good.
peeing. They're cloaking all over that cave.
Cloaking, oh my god.
Oh, now they're stanking.
They're scrabbling up the walls, trying to like find a way out. Like
Wrecking his house.
I'm fucking terrorizing them right now, aren't I?
Yeah, you're done for. This is all.
so the dragon lands, and there's this huge gust of meat, and there's this low growl as it like looks at you guys, and like there's the rotting meat stench of predators. And it kind of doesn't lunge to attack. It just kind of watches you guys, and Smoog and Hargar are like spazzing out, and it looks at them, and it starts. And they're like, and they actually go sit still and like stand like not at attention, but like they kind of like organize themselves as if like looking at it and like.
Did it actually say something, or was it just?
It growled at them.
Just growling.
It growled at them.
I want to use thaumaturgy. I have a the stud of thaumaturgy.
Okay.
If you pass out, I swear to God.
And I want to say, with thaumaturgy in a loud voice, not to intimidate it, but just so make sure it hears us.
Oh boy.
We could have done
Friends
this earlier.
of Okasa.
You're in dragon or giant?
In giant, yes.
Okay.
Oh my God.
This
That would
could
be
end
so
poorly.
angry.
I don't know what else to do.
Okay.
I don't either.
It looks at you for a minute.
That's
And
better
like-
than eating.
Like it brings its giant head like up close to you, and like the big yellow eye like looks at you.
Is it yellow from?
Can I make a note that Canithar is standing directly
Here's the
between
meeting
where
in
the
bed.
skull was and
Albinos.
the dragon's
much.
line of sight?
He's just like blocking them. The skull's gone. Like
with the shoulders, with the shoulder
And
pads
then it brings
made
its,
from its skull.
huge nose up against you.
I like put out the spear in a non-threatening
It
manner,
flinches away from all the fire.
and like
oh, you heard it.
I Okasa.
Okay, so that means family.
It's a giant Okasa, Sukasa.
Should take one of his dragons, hold it over the cliff like it's a beginning of Lion King.
I just want to point out we're in the dragon's house. Casa, Spanish. Okasa, Sukasa.
That makes sense.
It's all fitting.
It rhymes.
Like it flinches away from like the intense
They're
heat
both
and light
fighters.
of her, and then it kind of looks at her, and she's looking at it, but like I don't think it understands. I don't think it understands what you're trying to tell it.
Does he still have
Like there's a sense of recognition. Like it when you say Okasa, it kind of like
I try to ask the spear, what do I do?
make an insight check.
Yeah? Is that what you want? Drop it.
Numero uno.
It's a natural one.
Well, that could end poorly.
Well, maybe if the she's at 20.
Worst opposite inside.
Could we cobble together the word Vakusu in giant?
Dennis gonna think we're Vakusu.
No.
And I do like a stabbing motion.
Did you say the word Vikusu?
We don't like it.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
Just destroy
Just
Vakusu.
do it.
Say it, yeah.
Yeah.
It makes a angry fucking
But
growl.
I do like this.
Like
we're
the
gonna kill
whole
it.
thing like flexes, the tail arcs up, and it's just growling.
Can we speak like full sentences?
Smoog and
Do you understand
Hargar
them?
start to scurry away from it, but then it like kind of makes a like a snapping noise with its teeth towards them, and they get right back to attention. Like
That thing's the boss.
So,
Heavy.
They respect strength.
is it like a? Are they terrified, or is this a respect thing?
Yes.
Both. Yeah.
A lot of both.
You based on your observations, they are utterly and completely terrified of this dragon. But they're also obeying it directly in a way that they don't obey you directly and automatically.
Okay.
You're not as scary as the Bigfoot dragon. It's nothing on you.
You're just not 50 feet tall.
That is
Is
true.
Kanathar still hanging out like back in the cave? Like
Come forward.
My totally awesome cool longbow, also a friend of the dragon.
My living longbow.
In case anybody's asking.
Anyone
Still our flames on it. Still.
They're painted.
I guess I am.
Are they red flames or blue flames?
No, just come forward.
Green
Just
flame.
show it that, like,
I guess I'm not.
Green flame.
I'll come forward with if the rest of the party's forward. Yeah.
okay.
I cough and all.
So
Painted on the wrong
it's in the midst of yelling at Smoog and Hargar, and you step forward, and it sees you, and it kind of gets in close, and like I don't know how you guys are arranged on this ledge outside of its cave, but it doesn't really stop or dodge any of you. It just kind of barrels on through towards Kanathar, and it gets up real close, like to the point where it's kind of slobbering on you a little, and it starts sniffing heavily at you.
You took his only thing.
Like
it's attracted to you.
it definitely like looks at the new shoulder pads on the cloak, but it's also sniffing the cloak itself. And like its tongue is flickering out, this big long snake tongue, like like going on the arbor and you and.
It wants to peg you.
And while it's focused on you, like Smoog and Hargar start like trying to like
Back away.
creep away.
So now it's kind of like where we're surrounding it. Right?
Yeah, you guys have it surrounded.
Offer it your
I don't get carried.
In the rough way that you
Your
can
butt.
surround like a bus.
Well, I just surrounded it in the way you could surround a bus.
I'm just saying, like, if someone like reach out and touch it, you can just
Let it take your dominance.
It's like a. I
Roll over on your belly. Or on your back.
I am
Show it your belly.
paralyzed with fear.
Okay. So,
What's the king giant's name?
crank Manos.
Huh?
Karen Kamanos.
Did he know the queen of ice and snow or whatever?
I think he vaguely knew
god
of
of
them.
He knew of the
He
gods.
didn't know her personally.
the only one he implied that he might know personally might be the White King, because he said the White King is the one who freed all the giants from the.
I'm gonna-
put
So
them
I'm
all to
wondering
sleep.
if he would know the dragon, because then you could kind of might be able to invoke his name. Or you could say more shit about the Ocasta, Jim Ocasta.
What was the other guy?
This is amazing.
Maybe she will get her journal
So,
rights back.
Kanathar, he's now like
can't remember now.
licking your neck, like really like
back.
licking your face and neck, and like
This tongue's got to be as big as me, right?
oh yeah, it's huge. It's huge and it's kind of rough.
Lick it back. Show your dominance.
This is getting
It's like
good,
you're being
guys.
brushed with
At
a wet
this moment,
python.
Kanathar realizes that he doesn't need drugs anymore if there's such crazy shit going on naturally.
It's more like Canada raises sexual attraction to dragons.
Oh my god.
Dragons fucking cars?
Oh.
So he. Oh yeah! Fucking cars! Yes! Oh, it's been so long.
That's a thing.
Yeah, it's a subreddit.
Dinosaurs.
It's
Fucking
awful. It's terrible.
So unless
go there.
someone
Look,
does
I
something
don't know.
else or anything, the dragon moves its mouth down to your shoulder, and the back teeth catch on the cloak of spring. They don't penetrate, but its lower teeth bite into your skin, enough to draw blood. It doesn't like tear a chunk out of you; it just draws blood, and then it releases and starts tasting the blood.
Oh.
We all have the blood of the dragon.
We're dragons.
Wait, what is that person to just... Is that... Wait,
Just to react to it.
the blood of Everlasting Spring is
Dragon
Inside.
the same as this guy's cloak, right?
Uh-huh. That's
And
why the
it-
cloak bonded to him.
It kind of
I mean, you should have bonded it.
like it stands up straight,
Oh, yeah.
and it
That's
puts a
what
foot
it
on your
really
chest
I remember.
Oh,
because
shit.
it didn't really
and
bond.
shoves you down to the ground.
Ooh.
How
Oh, you're gonna get taken advantage of.
Is he prone or is he?
Oh yeah, he's prone.
Supine.
Do you want to try and resist this immense strength? It's not. The claws aren't savaging you or anything.
I wouldn't try yet.
What do you like? What does Canathar do right now? Like.
As a free action, I tell Cathar, let this progress naturally.
I think that's what Canathar's thinking too.
Okay.
I mean,
I inject him with his mushroom and be like, hey,
just let it happen.
I wanna. Can I express that we want to defeat the Vacusu?
Do you say it in giant?
Instead of just saying the word Vacusu like an idiot?
Do you say it in giant?
Yes.
Okay. So, Turok says,
just roughly, we want to
we want to defeat the Vacusu.
Or something like that.
It looks away from Canathar. Like it makes a growling, like questioning noise.
And we can
like it's
we can
recognizable
speak,
as,
fluently.
Yeah,
right?
you guys are fluent in giant.
So I try to explain that we're collecting relics of the old gods. I don't know if you would know them as gods. That's the word you choose to use, though.
Yeah.
Or I'll use their names if I know them. I know her name. I don't know his name.
That was about 40,000 years ago.
I think Okasa's all we know.
Weapons.
And I'll call him the Scaled King. Just. And we're using them to hopefully defeat the Vacusu and end his decaying of the world. Roughly.
Smoog and Harder try to scurry away while it's focused on you, and it snarls at them, and then it steps off Canathar.
Ooh, that's good. That's a good thing.
And then it just jams its whole big
Canathar,
claw right into your chest.
As soon as Canathar's free, he rolls a fat knuckmut jaw.
Man, that was crazy. I need to calm down.
And passes it to the dragon.
Does the dragon partake?
No, the dragon does not partake of your pot. It's pretty much immune to it.
You give it a pretty large dose of mushrooms.
That could be fucking fun.
So, it kind of looks at you guys like, what's up? Like, what do you?
That's gotta be a suburb.
We're looking for the boots in Belt of Thunder.
You see humans.
Yeah?
Relics.
Say
Go boom.
Say
Magic
I don't know.
pants.
Oh, hairy people. Gray people.
No, say
We're
the name
looking
of
for gray people that eat people.
No, say the name of the queen. Tell us was
Okasa?
our ally.
Okasa.
Yeah, Okasa said you are our ally.
We already told it that.
Did we?
Well, we said it. Yeah, we said it.
Kind of.
We said Okasa. We didn't
You
say
said the name Okasa.
We said
Yeah,
her
we
name.
were just yelling names at it like it wasn't gonna understand.
Well, I mean, if we understand that this thing can understand giant, yeah, I say this spear is what's left of Okasa. We're trying to rebuild her.
It said you were our ally.
Make her
It
strong.
picks it up. It takes its big long claws.
I let it.
Grabs the haft.
It's on,
Like, kind
it's
of
on
like-
fire.
Doesn't seem to bother it now that
That's good.
It holds it. Well, no, it would use
It
its
flies
tail.
off.
It wraps its slender tail like around the haft and like brings it up in front of its face and like peers at the eye, and the eye peers back, and like it's hot and like she can't talk to him.
I promise.
She vibrates.
We don't have any of the pieces of her because we blew them all up. But
she vibrates a little like while he's holding it. Like he doesn't seem to know what to make. Like he understands that you're saying this is Okasa, but like it's a spear on fire.
he's like, I don't.
Prove it to you. Vibrate 3 times fast.
Does he?
She vibrates 3 times fast.
Does he still have the?
And I say that in
the aura where he
giant.
looks.
Okay, and he understands. Like, it nods a little bit, like okay,
Maybe.
all right,
The spirit can understand you at least.
okay.
We all want to destroy the Vacusu. That's our mission here.
It dips its head like
Okay.
okay. I can get okay.
Can we lead? Like,
Can you help us?
We're looking for a tribe of man-eaters. I don't want to say flesh-eaters. Like
With thunder equipment? Boots, gloves, some belt, something.
Magic.
They may or may not be
magic
hairy
pants?
and gray.
he gestures with his giant bone hook at his tail.
B1.
He points towards this mountain.
I knew it. Oh, B2.
That's 4 squares, guys. That's only 4 squares. We can narrow that down.
Oh, sweet B2.
Is B2 what you want to go for first?
That's the one I said it was going to be in originally. Okay, so they probably live on the mountain.
I ask.
And then I say,
about to say thank you and John.
Can we ask the dragon to if he can give us a ride?
There's a lot of us.
Ooh. I don't know if you like that.
I didn't want to
I like it.
Is that prying? Are we overstepping? I'm sorry.
Wasn't that a game show, Press Your Luck? I think that's what we're playing right now.
Oh, I guess you don't want the seasons back. I'm sorry.
Turn back. Let's not get shitty with the dragon. With the 4,000-year-old dragon.
Kill Iceland?
You're right. Your pride's more important than the world. It's fine. I say none of this. I think it.
Do you shadow step like on his back? Like you just hop on him?
Alright, let's go. Where's the go button on this dragon?
So, what does he say though?
No. He's not gonna fly your ass.
They're good eating.
Yeah, about
Maybe you go out there, you eat a couple, you carry our wagon.
It kind of like nods to its nest, and like there's thick gray fur in some spots. Like
Alright. You get one. What's with the gray fur again? That's
They're very hairy people.
They were called graybeards or hairy men.
So that's where you see yourself in 10 years.
Yeah, as a human-eating cannibal.
That makes sense.
In the middle of the
And
desert.
In the middle of the desert.
And the tribe, and you walk
It's a
in,
magical artifact.
and they have magnificent mustaches
Sub
of
on
gray.
mushrooms.
Gray mustaches.
Alright, well, thank you
Hold on,
for your time and
Are these
hospitality,
next
dragon.
year's?
I think we'll be leaving because you are a dragon. And you probably have dragon-y things to attend to. Or maybe nothing. Do you play games? What do you do? For fun.
I want to ask it if we can call upon its aid for the final battle against the Fukusu.
What do you say?
That?
Do you say that?
I say that you seem to be
You
a
helped
formidable
kill
and
Bakusu.
incredibly powerful creature. You used to be
Why don't you just blow it?
an ally
You're the one with the flesh flute.
of our queen. You used to be an ally of our queen. If you would stand by our side when we decide to fight the
Is that a performance
Fukusu,
check?
it would be an honor.
Persuasion check.
Yeah, it's 16.
No persuasion necessary. Yeah.
And I also throw in,
Persuasion or
we also
animal
dislike the
handling?
Iceman.
Actually, the size, would it be athletics?
It hisses. It hisses when you say
Performance,
Eisman.
athletics.
And then like it licks its lips like
We can bust them out of that
Sleight
dome
of
if
hand.
you're hungry.
Deception.
Maybe later.
You
After
could
the
probably
battle.
eat him whole, right? Just about.
I don't know. They
were talking about
roughly
animal
similar
Yeah, we don't want the
size.
Eisman to blow a hole through
That's
this
a dragon.
dragon.
No,
That's
Literal
that'd be
animal
sucky.
handling.
we literally,
Athletics.
he saw him. Well, we don't know this, but did you relay all the details of the dream?
As much as I can recall.
Okay.
He was fighting
We saw that he was beating the shit out of Eisman.
a weakened Eisman.
Right.
A weekend,
Which is what he is now, I think.
But
He says no.
he's had 4,000 years to get back to
4,000
max
years.
HP.
He regenerates 200 hit points around.
Roughly full health.
Roughly full health.
I didn't do all the math, but
Well, he is also taking a substantial amount of damage, though.
Yeah.
So
so if we kept him trapped, he'd be easier to kill. But that's not fun. I'm not a trophy
I
hunter.
say we start moving toward this mountain.
Let's move to the mountain.
Fast.
Do you guys give it any way to contact you? Do you give it any information about?
Cell phone number.
I'd
Yeah,
give it.
how it-
That's what I was saying.
Do we give it a break here?
I was gonna say, do we give it the?
Do we have an extra
Yeah.
breaker stone?
Does
You
it?
just have two.
I think they only work back and forth too. Like two of them have to be connected.
Yeah.
And Car has the other one. Unless we have another set. We can
This
give it
is
a
trying with
set.
this walkie-talkie clutching its tail. Like what is? Roar!
Hey, we're ready for you.
Roar!
Is he coming?
Just can you be here? Like how do you tell it where it is?
High noon tomorrow at the mountain.
We could
show
it
the
the lantern. Yeah, I pull out the belt signal on the
Do
lantern.
you open it? Because then the Vacusa might show up here and kill them.
Well, we know that it takes about. Well, no.
Don't be here in 3 days.
Don't be here in 3 days. The Vacusa's gonna be here.
It
Like
needs
you don't
heat.
have to ignite it.
Yeah, it needs heat. So I'm gonna step away from.
Okay,
Dharma.
what about this? How can we contact you?
Leave your break.
Right now.
I'm gonna let it know. Like I'm gonna say we have
We have
a
2 breaker
big
stones
light
with
will
us,
shine in the sky.
Don't we?
Yeah, we do.
You know,
How are we gonna know it's
Not
coming?
gonna see it from 10,
How do we even know
20,
he has
100
it?
miles away.
I don't know how
Unless we
bright
put
it
on its
was.
neck or
Not that
something.
bright.
Quick question. Do you know of any really awesome longbows? Oh, really? Where?
Gestures to the east with its tail.
I thought he was gonna point at
Very
yours.
accurate. If I show you a map. Where on this map?
It stabs the map with its stinger and tears it apart.
Thank you. Fold it up, put it in my backpack.
It's roughly somewhere in Yafka, if I had to guess.
It roots around in its nest and it finds the map of a completely different continent and hands it to you.
That's
Sweet.
wonderful.
These are useless.
Also, what do you think of the flames painted on my boat?
Nods.
I can get down with that.
I can
Everyone
almost
can.
do enough average damage to maintain the Eisman's regeneration myself. Just as a heads up.
Your average damage.
Yes. With
Oh
three-
yeah, with your
with
3
three attacks per round.
3 attacks per round.
I'm at like 112 damage.
That's assuming his AC
No,
isn't like
100,
74.
162
It's only 18.
damage. If I hit 162 damage per round average.
The real danger is from all the studs he has.
Let's pull them all out before we
Hey,
get
hey,
him up.
I got studs too, guy. I'm not your buddy, guy.
I'm not your guy, friend.
I'm not your pal, buddy.
I do a 1d8 plus 1.
How about a giant pillar of smoke? You can see that from thousands of miles away.
What?
Giant pillar of smoke?
Are we going to light someone on fire?
How giant are we talking?
Like, big enough to...
Like we burned down Millen?
So next time it rains.
That's not a bad idea.
Because we have to...
Burn down Millen.
But
No,
we have
next
to
time
pick
it
a
rains.
battlefield.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
Otherwise you won't know where to
Is
go.
Kendar with you guys?
That's still like a day or 2 days after.
I thought we
Kendar with you
decided on...
guys?
Yeah, I think
I
so.
thought we decided on...
Kendar grabs the map of Yafka and she holds it up in front of him. Do you know what this is? It nods. And she points to where the giant fortress is. We live here. Would you like to come visit us? He nods.
If we get Crank riding this thing, we're unstoppable.
Are the fucking Avengers! You call
What's
this?
this, our Quinjet?
I still want the boots and belt
Strongest Avenger.
Looks at my boat.
of thunder. Right.
Such a great movie.
Tiny Avenger.
It is really way better than it deserved to be.
Yeah.
Ragnarok was great.
You know?
So,
This is one of my
now what?
favorites.
Kendar handled it for you.
Let's climb down the
Feels great
mountain.
for experience.
But like,
You want to try?
did we say next time it rains it's gonna come?
No, she just asked if it wanted to come live with you guys. And she
Oh,
said-
live?
Yeah.
Like permanently?
It was like, yeah, alright, whatever.
Alright, so we know
And
where
they'll pay the rent.
it's at Crank's house.
Yeah, it's gonna come hang out at Crank's
Probably
house.
let Crank know about that.
Yeah. we have the break air stone for
Crank
it,
was gonna
right?
get-
Yes, dragon comes
Big
to
ass
you.
list.
What, we're gonna give him our break air stone and let Karank talk to the dragon? Like, they're gonna communicate?
No, I'm saying like we should probably tell Crank it's coming now.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Hey, there's gonna be a 50-foot dragon landing. It's cool. It's cool.
Fred.
All right, we'll give the one stone to the dragon.
The dragon
will
He
take it.
understands giant.
The dragon
he
will
doesn't
take
speak
it
though.
to Crank and give
Then
it
Crank
to
can
Crank.
talk
Crank
to
has
himself.
one though.
Craig has one, yeah.
Send a
Then he can
message
talk
to
to
her.
himself.
That's who has our other one.
Oh, okay.
It's Carrick Mono.
So there must be 3, because Crank has one.
Yeah, because
And
you've been
we
talking
have
Who
to.
has the other one?
Herber on it.
We've
Herber
had,
has
we've had
one.
3 because
The
Herber's got.
giant kid.
I thought there were only
Ah,
two.
it's
You
true.
guys have 2.
Crank Monos.
Carrick Monos has 1.
Yep.
I just call him Crank. Go ahead.
Oh,
Crank.
okay.
So there's 3 total.
There's 3 total.
Yeah, but he can't talk back to us.
The dragon?
Yeah.
So I say
We don't need to give him one. He just goes.
Kandara keeps one.
Yeah, he's
Crank
the one
has
that
one,
did.
and we have one.
When he
That's
gets
good.
there, he'll be with Crank, and if we need to talk to Crank, can put him on the other line.
True.
If we give him the other breaker stone and that flies over there,
Is it like a
Crank
party
will be
line?
talking to himself.
I like that, Cassius.
Talk to your fucking dog.
Realistically, Crank only speaks
Skype
giant, so
chat,
he's
yeah.
fine. They're gonna get along just.
It's
great.
like talking to your dog. Yeah.
It's like a group call. I mean,
Crank, can you give the dragon a...
So I think we tell Mr. Dragon. Can we ask his name? Like, what does he do?
Yeah, you know his name. You know his name.
You did say
Yes.
it. I don't remember what it was.
I'm sorry.
I repeat his name to the party.
Narlathonair.
Lathonair.
Yes.
Gnarly Dragon. That's his name.
You mentioned the.
does anyone notice that the dragon can't pronounce his own name?
Narlathonair.
He can pronounce it? The dragon?
He knows who he is.
All right, Carrick Monos. We got Lathonair. He's gonna come your way.
The friend of the dragon of the Scaled King?
Yeah.
10-4. What?
He's apparently.
It's
alive.
cool. Just treat him with hospitality. I mean,
Where did you find the dragon? What?
Q20, buddy.
I was gonna say, yeah, we're Q20s.
He's on like Q3 right now. He's got like 17 more questions to ask.
What about 10-4?
Where did you find... How is he even still alive? It's been 4,000 years since Narlathonair fought the Iceman with the Scaled King.
How old are you, Crank?
That's a very good point. I didn't think of that.
I mean, I don't know how any of this works. I'm just spitballing. All I know...
Tell him that of course I will have space for him. Please. I offer all the hospitality that I still possess.
He might be a little bigger than you remember.
we tell all... We give Carrick Monos his name, too.
Accurate measurements of the
Narlathonair.
Lathonair.
dragon.
Nathan.
Yeah, if a 50-foot dragon shows up, that's him.
That's the
one.
A 50-foot flying dragon shows
Not
up.
the 45-foot dragon, the 50-foot
Not the 45-foot
That one you gotta be worried.
That one, just kill.
Just call him Nathan for short.
Lathonair.
Yeah, this
Or Nate.
49-foot dragon showed up. I
Oh,
killed
okay.
it.
And he loves speaking giant. Or listening to giant and nodding, I think.
True.
So you'll get along great with
So yeah,
him.
we let Lathonair too know that he's going to see Carrick Monos. That's
King of Giants.
King of Giants. Yep. And, he's been a huge help to us in trying to
What's that mean?
track down and kill the Vicuso.
If you like turtle, this guy's got hella turtles.
and mushrooms.
Alright, well, you won't eat any turtles. so
Turtles
it's
are his friend, Turok. What the hell, man?
They're like cattle.
He can spare a couple.
He like raises them like livestock, I think. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not 100%. Don't eat the turtles unless you ask.
I think you're in danger. Ask about eating the turtles.
Would be to
Eat one. Look at
do
his
you call them turtles or T-Lock?
T-Lock, I guess.
Okay.
Call them turtles.
Like,
the
he doesn't know what a
turtles.
T-Lock is?
He doesn't know what T-Lac are.
He gestures to the northeast. He gestures to the northeast with his stinger. Like when you say T-Lock, he's like northeast.
He could probably hunt
Yes.
something from. He
Is that where that big T-Lock is?
He can probably
What?
hunt
Yeah.
something from the ocean, guys. He's big enough.
Is that the one we killed?
No, that was a turtle. A turtle from the ocean.
So he knows where a big T-Lock is.
Yeah,
Do we know where a big T-Lock is? Is he like corroborating a story with us?
he's pointing northeast.
So if we want a big T-Lock,
Pointing northeast with the stinger.
Northeast is where Carrick Monos is.
No,
Is it?
Carrickmanos is southwest. Way southwest.
so just to clarify,
Where are we?
there's a big T-Lock
At Q20.
to the northeast.
Just south of the font.
Or T-Lock in general.
The Fontanelle?
Yeah.
That's why I was confused. I thought we were like fucking over here.
No, you were at the tomb, and then you went to the font.
My apologies.
Where is Carowin located on this map?
He's not.
Yeah? Oh.
Is this
He's
the
one of
fucking
them.
island?
He's not on this
No,
planet?
it's not.
Or...
It's an entirely different solar system.
Oh, good.
All right. So we have some information on a T-lock or T-lock in general. Whether or not it's one large one or small ones, we don't know. And I don't see how that's going to help us. But I appreciate your knowledge.
I try to give him as best I can landmark notifications as to where King Monos is.
Yeah. Okay. There's like a lot of sand, and then there'll be less sand, and a castle.
A castle. An underground castle.
That you won't be able to see very well.
It's mostly covered in
Hey,
sand.
Craig, you want to turn a light on for him or something?
Red and blue.
Oh yes, yeah. We'll roll out all the stops for Narlathonair.
Maybe get some meat. I don't know. He likes meat, I assume.
Opposite of that.
Oh, I'll find something to fucking kill for him.
Oh, really?
Wow.
He also said something about a large T-lock to the northeast. I don't know.
Interesting.
If that interests you. I know you like T-lock.
He
I
did
do like
say
T-lock.
interesting.
You probably don't remember.
I do like
T-lock
T-lock.
in general?
It's right upstairs and I don't know.
T-lock have been the allies of the Giants for, well, a while. But now we're all in hibernation, so wake them up.
Ask if he'd, I'll ask Narlathonair if he would be
So you
opposed
could do
to
red and blue.
towing a very large banner behind him, maybe near some cities. Like, it says abandoned with contact
He stabs you with his
information.
sticker.
So you gotta make
There's a belt in the back.
gold. It's
probably
just
It's just, the banner is just one long belt with the buckle at the end of it.
injection molding.
Jesus. Well, I suppose we should be going.
Yeah.
I know that your time is probably very precious as a 4,000-year-old dragon.
4,033. Plus however old he was before.
Yeah, he was probably pretty old at that
Yeah,
point,
he was
too.
a couple hundred years old.
Well,
Probably closer to 5,000.
if you tell me your birthday, I'll get you something on that day. And I show him a calendar.
Point is, he also put his thing into it.
Things in it. Just turn the whole thing.
I'm kind of pissed.
All right,
that
every
you
day of the
ruined
year.
my map. Now I can't find a fucking boat.
You're a ranger.
Why would you want a better bow
Find
than
like a
that? That's the
mobile
best
You
bow.
are right. It is pretty awesome.
You know it's
It really
a very
isn't
large
much, is
area
it?
on the map.
Yeah.
Somewhere within the Stinger area.
Eric, you're a ranger though. Isn't your map up here?
Look. You can
Did he
think
put
one
it-
thing. It's like they say, you can wish in one hand and shit in the other and see which one fills up.
And see which one
We have a
the
giant
stands
dragon, so
first.
maybe the shit hand will fill up faster this time.
Maybe.
That's true. That's you have a lot of.
I think the point is that it
It
always
works
fills up
really
faster, though.
Look. It's gonna fill up a lot faster now.
And good day to you, sir.
That USB-C in.
And then we
On to D1.
curtsy out and make our way down the mountain.
He grumbles, please call me. Whatever his name
Gnarly?
is.
Nathan Dragonair.
Nathan Dragonair.
My father's.
Nathan Drakenair.
Just call me Chawaza.
Please call me Nate.
Be like, this may sound crazy, but call me maybe.
I just met you and this is crazy.
Here's my breaker stone.
He had one this whole time.
So, now we have to, still find the boots of, and belt of thunder.
Well, then I say we leave
Which might be more than a boots and belt. Might not be a boots
any
and belt.
non-essential personnel
They're
here.
they're within these 4 squares, supposedly.
Yeah. We can.
Was that what he said?
Yeah, it's the dragon said.
Yeah, we can leave
Well, we
non-essential
pointed at the
personnel
mountains,
here because
so
they'll. No one's gonna fuck with him.
Right. If they know a big dragon lives here, there's a good chance people don't hang out in this square.
Can he just fly us to B1?
So if we leave everybody
Yes,
with the
nicely.
wagons here, and we
Why not?
just bust ass down there,
We should probably ask
busy
if
feet.
that's okay.
I'm being difficult.
What if I use animal handling?
You could use
Herbert,
much
And roll
animal
very
very.
high.
Herbert.
well, the wagons are at the bottom of the mountain.
Narlathonair is gonna
anyways.
need you to help him pack.
Did you call him
It's
Herbert?
probably best.
Herbert or pervert?
Herbert.
Okay. Well,
Alright,
With an
that's
H.
not what I've seen. So.
Herbert. Narlathonair needs some help packing. He's got quite a long journey. If you could stay back, maybe get his bones together for him. Some tufts of fur.
He's very attached to these tufts of fur.
Nathan Dragonair. Nathan, Nate. You guys. Nar. Way. Go. Nair.
Gnarly.
Lanolin? Lanolin?
Kagabunshin no Jutsu.
So, is he cool if we leave our wagons here for now? At the bottom of the mountain since he's leaving? Cool.
If he's not cool, we'll just wait till he leaves.
And then we'll move full speed to the mountain.
Full speed? Fast speed?
Fast.
Ooh. Ooh, no stealth. Less damage from... Alright.
Straight up stick in the one column and just go DCB?
Yep. I say we just
D1.
shoot straight for B1.
D1, here it comes. Here it comes. Oh. You guys are all at full hit points because you're still been on attack. So you're all healed up.
Oh.
Did you want to ask him about the...
Oh, shit, the obelisk? Yeah, maybe it's just in passing. Obelisk, maybe?
I can't talk!
So he like, and he
suit.
He points north with his stinger, and then he takes a shit right on the stove.
We could charge the suit with that if we have a battery.
On the obelisk?
No, he points north with his stinger, and then he takes a shit right in front of you.
I don't know what that
We need to get out of this area, dude. You
Guys.
realize he's a 50-foot dragon. The whole area smells like shit now.
That's like a 60-pound shit.
It's like
We could come back
it's
with
like
a battery
three Triceratops took
and
a
charge
shit.
the suit.
And we've seen Triceratops shit in Jurassic World.
It is a large
So,
wild shit.
Jurassic Park.
D1.
The
It's a large
invulnerable
wild
suit.
shit.
Extremely barren and very flat. To the south is a small mountain, and to the east are miles of rocky hills. Perception checks.
We don't get bonuses, right? We just get right.
Disadvantage.
23.
Disadvantage. Oh, well then.
What's disadvantage?
21. Roll twice to take the lower.
Oh.
Yeah.
21.
With disadvantage? Wow.
And
So
11
you
to-
see lots of destroyed husks lying in the sun, as well as some flesh eaters and that sort of thing.
Excuse you.
Looks like they've all been killed by a big dragon.
This is sweet.
We don't know where one of those is.
If
Thanks,
only.
Nathan.
Do we have any evidence of a big dragon being around?
He makes good hot dogs. Those are really good hot dogs.
I mean, I've only seen a 45-footer before.
You've seen a 60-footer before.
It
Did we
didn't
talk
fly.
about hot dogs? Oh, dragons.
Wait, are we still talking about dragons?
Why not both?
Are you guys going to C1?
C1.
We already saw one.
Well, I just rolled a 19. Plus 14.
Yeah, disadvantage. Everyone has disadvantage on all the investigation checks.
18.
14 plus 14.
18.
28.
17.
With disadvantage?
I rolled a 19 and a 14.
26.
13.
Disadvantage.
But I got a 20 on
So the
the
terrain here is pretty flat and rocky, but it's easy to see there's signs of husks in the area.
Oh.
There are husks in the area,
And you can't stealth. So
and I
if you,
can't stealth.
if you move through the area, they detect you.
Well, we have to move through the area because we have to get to B1.
Can't go under it. Can't go around
Alright,
it.
everyone make an attack roll.
Gotta go through it.
With disadvantage or
Nope. Oh, I already rolled.
crit?
17 plus,
Okay.
I don't know.
It's useless because we're waiting to crit with this damn thing.
Do we add our like weighted modifier to it? or
19.
just basic roll.
Yeah.
All your modifiers apply.
So extra attack and everything? Or?
No, just one attack with whatever weapon you choose.
So, Eric,
Yeah?
Clint told me that my weapon does something special when it
26 to hit.
crit. Every time I've crit with it, it has been in a situation like this, where the enemy has one hit point left.
I got higher.
I have no idea what it does.
So,
I got a
Alright.
27. That's funny.
I got 26.
so critical success from the players.
That makes like sense.
Alright,
I only
you-
have plus 10 to hit.
you just tear through these guys. No damage.
Do I see what it does? Do I see what my cutlass does with it?
It just like with the copper golem, it just disintegrates them into black sand.
So no.
I
No, you
take some
don't.
more of the black sand. This is the coarser black sand.
It's the coarse black sand.
Oh, I still have some of that.
So you-
How similar is this to the black sand we found?
Not at all.
So the other black sand I
This
found.
is more blacky.
So
It's
that
like
one
black
cubic
and
foot.
it's sand.
I think we already asked.
So
Kevin?
it's not the same as the 1 cubic foot of black sand that
No.
Nema has.
This stuff I can melt down into make like a black
Yeah.
glass-like
Maybe mix
material.
it, man, and see
I
what
made him a
happens.
Get your eye out of that bottle.
Drink it like charcoal.
Fucking drink it.
Look how white my teeth are.
It's not a like
how
very good one because I'm not
I'm
proficient
full
with
of
it. It's
Tylenol in my
vaguely
belly.
penis shaped. Because you glass
That's really
everything's
weird
like
to
a
see
big
someone
long
shut that
bubble
out.
and you just flattened it. And
So,
B1?
Phallic. You guys go to B1?
Oh, we're going to B1.
Go to B1.
Then we go to B2.
You're still moving
Where
fast.
the treasure is.
So everyone make detection.
Nat 20.
Okay. With disadvantage?
12.
Huh?
With disadvantage?
11. 26 the other one, so let's see here, 25.
16.
21.
Okay. You're journeying through the rough terrain, and you do see what you think are booted and bare feet of flesh eaters passing through.
Are they hairy?
But more interestingly, you find some large footprints of feet bigger than a human's, but smaller than those of a Goliath.
Are they like
Hobbit feet, maybe
No.
this big?
Is it as if a Goliath fucked a human and then they
No,
had some
no.
offspring?
You also find a lot of tufts of like thick gray fur or hair.
Fuck that gray fur again.
Spear on?
Wait.
Puts the lotion.
Are
on the
these
skin.
What direction are these footprints going in?
boot
Make a
tracks
survival.
or
No, these are
footprints?
bare
Ooh, say east.
Could it be like
Yeah,
a-
say
Make a
east.
survival
A
check
bear man pig?
with disadvantage. 'Cause you're moving fast.
Natural 1.
Oh,
Oh, I still have a limit.
Half
I got
bear,
12 on both
half
rolls.
pig, half
19.
man?
no.
19.
Oh, man, bear pig.
19.
So you try to follow the huge
24.
footprints to see if they lead anywhere.
For survival.
24.
19 for survival.
You make some progress, but the rocky terrain is working against you, and you eventually lose the trail as it heads
Northeast.
east.
I really gotta. What is the obsession with the gray hair?
They have
hairy.
they're called graybeards.
Graybeards or hairy men is what the,
The
Herbert,
graybeards, you know, like
Herbert
from
translated.
the-
If only someone could
from
read
the
ancient
top of the
languages
mountain.
and understand
Kevin,
the writing.
Comprehend language.
Kevin, use your thaumaturgy
They-
and
they use their
scream
shouts.
Fusroda.
Fusro, exactly.
You can answer back.
Use their shouts.
Are these sand people? Do we see one
I
maybe
just
standing on a
heard
hill
my
yelling?
All right, did you guys head
What is the name of the mountain?
east? Okay.
Oh, maybe to be
Throw to the world.
2?
Yeah, thank you.
Dare I say it?
The Thune.
You do not dare.
Be freaking 2.
Come on, please be a razor storm as they discover it. Just, I
As
don't
they
ask for
discover
much.
We make a roll for it. We know it's here.
I'm just gonna say. I fucking called
16. Damn it.
Okay, fucking called.
He told you to shoot for a 20.
What are you shooting for 15?
Fusroda.
Shooting for 5. There's only a 5% chance.
What?
I'm rolling a D100.
Ah, that makes more sense now.
I like to imagine when you say razor storm, I'm like really straight razors. Are the
This is
No, it's volcanic ash and
Yeah, but it's more exciting if you think of it that way, though.
I mean,
it is.
Don't shave
Do
club.
they name them? Gillette, like, do they
Bunch
name
of
them?
fucking-
Like the
yeah, barber
like
razors.
Harry's, Gillette, Venus.
You guys are monsters. you called my dragon Nathan. So
it's Nate. I'm sorry.
I've never
You don't
not
have
had a
time.
party come up with a simple name for a dragon. This name is complicated.
Narlathonair. It's not hard. God.
Gnarly.
I associate it with a Pokemon. That's bonus points.
I'll go with
Nathan
Gnarly.
Dragonair. So you guys are wandering around B2. It's rocky foothills of this mountain.
B2 or B52?
Go ahead and make perception checks and stuff.
With disadvantage, right?
Yep.
25.
14.
Not good.
13.
Roll a 2 and a 3.
12. Use mine.
Fucking terrible.
I rolled a 14. I still
So
think you beat me.
you're wandering around B2, and
Possible.
Rolled an 8.
you find yourselves at the base of the
An
slope
8?
that heads up the side of the small mountain. It's clear that this area is heavily traveled. You see lots of scrapes and drag marks on the ground, as well as signs of blood. In very,
Can we slow down now?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
it's clear that the area is heavily traveled. There are
We're in the area where we want to look.
like there's a slope up the mountain. There are drag marks on the hard ground. You see blood spatter of varying ages. None of it's still fully wet. None of it looks like something bled out right here in the ground. It's more like stuff was dragged here while bleeding. The thing that occupies most of your attention is what can only be described as a totem or pillar of some kind. It's a massive pile of bones, maybe 6 feet tall, maybe 10-ish feet wide by 10-ish feet long on the base. Nothing is organized or stacked. It's just kind of a pile of broken skulls and cracked long bones and ribs, all kind of tied together loosely with like long pink wet lengths of glistening intestines.
Did you say long bows or long bones?
Long bones.
On boners?
Everything is slathered in what smells like shit and blood and piss and ragged chunks of meat and skin. Some of it with like hair growing out of it.
Growing out of it?
Well, not growing actively, but hair. Like someone ripped someone's scalp off.
Okay.
And like threw it on here.
Someone's got a problem.
I'm gonna say we send a message and you fireball this thing right now.
It's all kind of rotting and reeking, and
I'm ready.
the bones of the lowest portion are bleached by the sun, where they're not stained brown and black by blood and shit. The ragged flaps of skin in this section are just like dried leather. The bones on the upper portions are fresher, and some are clearly only a couple days old. A cloud of thousands of flies buzzes around the pile, and you can see ants and grubs and maggots and that kind of stuff squirming in the meatier portions. A lot of tribes will use like bones of their enemies and stuff, and like what they hunt, like the Nashir did to like make totems and like mark their territory. This is very similar, but usually it's not this like it's more symbolic than just like gore. Another perception check from anyone?
All of you? 30.
Nice. Okay, 30 does it. 30.
26.
Okay.
28.
There's pretty clear signs of like
Actually,
blood trails,
16.
those large humanoid bear footprints, drag marks leading up the mountain. Additionally, you can hear screams. You're starting to like notice some screams up the slope of the mountain.
Kind of
Are they happy screams?
No humanoid screams.
Humans can't
They
have
sound
It's
like-
probably other flesh eaters.
Like afraid screams, or are they like
Maybe fighting, maybe pain, maybe fear.
not like excited screams?
No, not like a kid that just got some candy.
Not like a flesh eater that just got some flesh.
Like, does it sound like
Candy flesh?
the crowd at the games? Are they watching two people kill each other? Maybe.
Do you guys want?
Is this the new place with the uranium?
Do you guys want to go up the slope and see if you can investigate?
I do.
Slowly and stealthily,
With advantage of stealth.
keeping a lookout for any hairy people.
Make
Who's
stealth
tucked
checks,
in
everyone. If you're going slowly, if you go, ooh, that stank. Ooh.
The lowest stealth check is the one we use,
1
guys.
8.
So don't.
Wait,
I
was
fucked it
that
up.
doubled?
So we have disadvantage?
No,
I rolled a
Stealthy.
1 and a
You're moving
3.
slowly.
I rolled 2
We
threes.
Oh, do we have advantage on this?
16.
No,
15.
okay. Okay.
8.
Not the lowest.
9.
Woo!
Jesus Christ, what are you fucking banging pants while you're walking around?
I am wearing a very showy.
What did the ranger
bells
get?
The what?
What did the ranger rogue get?
8.
Okay.
Our stealthy one?
Stealth.
I never said I was stealthy. It's a +5.
So you're heading up the slope, and you encounter these creatures, and they're not huge. They're bigger
I
than a
can put on
man,
a
like
show.
maybe 7 feet tall, but they're not quite as big as a Goliath. But they look a lot like this.
My eye was made of mirrors.
Mirror.
Actually, speaking of which, I made your character like a
got
very
it.
crude mirror. Like it's warped and fucked up looking, but
They look a lot like this.
Thank you.
They look a lot like
he's
this.
just been practicing making stuff.
Sam Squanch?
Bigfoot?
It's a fucking Sam Squanch.
Oh, Sasquatch!
Holy
Same
shit,
squint.
boys!
Did somebody?
We have to.
Did someone say Sasquatch?
Saskatchewan!
Sasquatch! Execute Order 66!
So they're very thick and burly. They have big
Fucking
fists.
Saskatchewan.
They're all like shaggy, thick gray fur, like matted with blood and like grime and shit
Sam
around their
Squanch.
butt.
They're all trying to steal our jackets.
They're not wearing any clothes. They do
Dicks.
have kind of like a leather strap around their chest with a couple javelins on back. They have when they open their mouths to like scream in rage when they see you guys and start beating the shit out of you with their bare fists. You can see that they have like human-shaped teeth, a little bit bigger than yours are, like the molars and bicuspids and whatnot.
So they're Chewbacca, but
Their
gray.
canine teeth are fucking massive and like protrude out of their mouths, like almost like their lips can't cover them.
Oh, that's good.
So
Cool.
they're Chewbacca, but gray.
So you want a Chewbacca on your face.
And they're all kind of like
Chew on your face.
they're all and like they're very
It's bad,
like
it's
like
bad
they're maybe
jokes.
like a
It's okay.
small group of like 4 or 5
What
of them.
the fuck?
They're all very male.
Are you saying they're turgid?
They're very male and very naked. Like they're all like heavily scarred, like they're constantly fighting and like biting each other and like being attacked by flesh eaters and
Have they
killing
noticed
flesh
us?
eaters. Oh yeah, you're about to fight them. Like,
Okay.
They
They're all
know
very
you're
male, and they're all very much baby armed.
I'm an entertainer. You can always find a place to perform, usually at an inn or tavern, but possibly with a circus, at a theater, or even a noble's court. At such place, you receive free lodging and food.
Are you saying you want to be a performer for these people?
Sure.
I'll probably print some
What does that look like?
I don't know.
What do you?
If they're getting riled up, I'm
no, they're gonna kill you guys now. They're gonna try to kill you guys. They found you trying to sneak into their camp.
Oh, well, never mind then.
Everyone make an attack roll.
I just did, bitch.
What was it?
17.
29.
19.
Oh wait, I get 2 attacks.
So I
Just
guess
make one.
30.
In 22.
30?
Well, 20 plus 10
26.
to hit, I think is what I had.
30?
30.
26.
26.
What are you looking for now,
Did you get a critical hit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I just still added my thing.
Yeah, you should. So, alright. So, they clashed with you guys, but you guys did really good and fought them off, and you don't take any damage.
Yeah!
That's really good. Now we're out of exploration mode, though, so that's cool.
Cool. We found them, and I'd like to say, guess where the hell they were? If you would rewind the recording to the point where we saw this map, I did guess, in fact, B goddamn 2. And here we are.
So you guys fight your way up the slope.
I don't think I went that far.
You don't think so?
As you begin to start to approach a clearing on the slope, do you want to stealth?
I found this mini.
Nice.
That's mine. That was on the top of the table.
No, it was underneath.
We probably should stealth.
Okay. Do you guys want to stealth
down there?
as you approach the main camp?
Yes.
Okay, please do so.
As much stealth as possible.
Wait,
Tail looks like it's
God damn it!
do we have
Would it have disadvantage?
I rolled natural ones on both my stealth checks.
12.
Oh my god.
We have disadvantage.
No, I want to say.
It doesn't really matter because
18.
someone rolled natural.
What's your
ones.
It doesn't matter.
I got a 10. So
Nobody else rolled.
I got a
What's your
12.
bonus?
I got a
7
as well.
So it's an 8.
Okay, they don't detect it.
Oh,
Skills don't critical
I
succeed or
really need to
fail.
stop.
True. I just thought it'd be too low.
So the
No,
Not
they
eight
got a
would be
6.
too low.
They got a 6. I have it documented. Perception.
Oh yeah, it's
Six.
suppose. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a DC.
Perception 6, comma. So that's good.
So that's good.
The enormous Goliath is stealthier than I am. I'm gonna put that
We're
out
not
there.
pointing that out right now.
Just saying.
We're just, you know.
I said from day one I am not a stealthy
So you're looking
character.
right at this clearing.
The Road Ranger is not a stealthy character.
That's a stereotype.
It's an unhealthy stereotype.
Would anyone like to take a journey of words with me to this clearing?
Sure.
A journey
Why the journey of words? Is
A journey of words.
with me to this clearing.
He wants to talk at you again.
Well,
I don't understand what you're
this one D-pads.
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
petting a
Go
dog.
ahead.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
will
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate that. So you're looking at this clearing that you've approached. Like you guys, I imagine you guys climbing like in the rocks off to the side, like kind of trying to creep up on this camp. You're looking at this clearing. It's a wide open space where these big furred humanoid guys have made a kind of camp. Right now there are about 20 or so of these big gray furred primitives dragging around and beating up a bunch of flesh eaters. The camp's kind of a wide open, like maybe 100-foot like space, like on the rock. Like it's rough and uneven. Like it hasn't been like flattened or anything. But you can see like it's kind of semi-permanent. There's like a cold fire pit. There's like bedding like laid down, made of mostly fur and like poorly cured hides and stuff. So. Blah, 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 blah. On the west side of the rocky clearing, there's an opening, like a cave opening. In the center of the clearing camp area is a large pit. The pit is like maybe 10 or 15 feet deep, 10 feet wide.
We killed them.
These graybeards seem to be kind of dividing the flesh eaters up into 3 groups. The groups seem to kind of be based on age. There's a small group of 3 flesh eater children, a group of 4 adult women, and a group of like 6 older men and women. That also includes like adult men. Everyone is yelling and grunting and trying to establish dominance and shoving at each other, and the graybeards are punching people and like hanging on to them. All of the flesh eaters are pretty roughed up. They're unarmed. Many of them have pre-existing wounds and stuff. One of the graybeards is kind of like hanging on to a young boy, like by like the shoulder neck area, and he gets distracted by a group of older flesh eaters, and the kid just like sinks like nasty rotten teeth into the meat of the graybeard's hand. enough to draw blood, and he bellows, grabs the kid by a leg, and basically goes like Hulk and Loki on him, just like bam, bam, bam. And like the kid basically just cracks apart, like every bone in his body snaps.
He is dead.
The Greybeard kind of like shakes him a little bit, grabs an arm, tears it off, tosses the kid in the pit, and then.
Can we see what's in this pit?
So he tenderized before he ate his meal.
Yes, he did. You can hear some people, like young voices yelling from the pit, like when a body falls on them. You hear a couple of yells and screams.
If you've ever heard people when a body falls on me, it sounds like that, a lot like that. Oh, a body fell on me.
Is anyone else concerned about Clint's outside life?
I'm still alive, but very badly covered in bodies.
And then he kind of, after he takes a bite of the arm, he just starts whipping the other two kids with it, and like kind of like beats them until they like end up like kind of like sprawling into the pit as well. And it's like 10, 15 feet deep, and you hear them screaming in pain and that sort of thing.
Who dug the pit?
I don't know.
Probably the hairy people.
Why doesn't the sand fill it in when you desert?
What sand?
Rocky. It's rocky here.
It's all rocky.
We're on a mountain.
Who dug a rocky pit?
That's true.
That's
Maybe it was a
question.
Are there pickaxes around?
Do you see any? No. Are they a thing that exists in the world? Yes.
Could be another caldera.
You hate the fact that
Could be a tiny 15-foot wide caldera.
What if it's a geyser and they're going to cook their food at the boiling water?
So the other flesh eaters are being pretty thoroughly beaten into submission and dragged in the cave. Dragged into the cave.
Oh, dragged.
A small group of 5 Greybeards kind of stays out here in this clearing area, but the rest go in with the flesh eater prisoners. The Greybeard with the kid's arm kind of continues tearing chunks off with his teeth, making gross crunching noises as he breaks it with his molars and starts sucking out all the marrow. Crunch, crunch, crunch. The other 4 Greybeards start taking out javelins and like they're poking the young flesh eaters that were knocked into the pit with them and that kind of thing. This goes on for several more minutes, and then you start to hear the sounds of women screaming in the cave. Make a perception check.
26. 23.
Some of you can smell
7.
like burning or cooking meat.
Oh, he's cooking chips.
And after a few minutes, the screaming stops, and shortly after that,
Why wouldn't we have intervened?
I don't know.
They're flesh eaters.
They're flesh eaters.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's flesh eater cooking. It's flesh eater on flesh eater violence, which is okay. They're all degenerates.
After a few minutes,
Oh, that sounds like how somebody else
Hey, I'm talking about flesh eaters. Don't you read into
did
it.
genocide.
There's nothing to read into. I'm talking strictly about flesh eaters, which are not good people in general. Okay,
It's got
come on.
uncomfortable fast.
Okay, let's not call them people. All right, they're flesh eaters.
You're humanizing them.
Cool.
They're
Look at that. It's time to...
after a few minutes, the
Right?
screaming stops, and shortly after that, a Greybeard walks out of the cave. The fur of his chest and arms
Shit on me, dog.
is caked in fresh blood, bits of skin, like chunks of bone. In his arms, he's carrying what looks like a pair of severed hands and a pair of severed feet.
It's way weak.
I really want to throw a fireball at him. I really.
He grunts at the Greybeards out here and hands like one of them a hand, one of them a foot, another. You know.
How many fireballs are in, or how many Greybeards are in that circle?
Neva quietly
The only
says
thing
to
is,
one of the other guys,
This
"Let me give you
group
a
would do the
hand."
same thing to the other group if given the chance.
I don't care.
They would do the same thing.
That's true.
These ones screamed.
They're all flesh eaters.
I'm gonna.
They're all
If he
flesh
starts,
eaters.
if he
I
launches,
think now is a good time to stop for the night.
Yeah.
yeah.
I guarantee they would eat each other,
Yep.
and they have many times. I'm sure of it.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
shit's
maybe it
escalating
seemed
a little
tougher,
bit.
but-
Well,
So that was
I mean,
session
you know, you get
19,
Well, I'm sure they
Restraint.
can,
We will see you guys next time.
yeah.
Are you going to call next session Restraint 2?
Bonded.